Hey everybody, welcome to Less Saints Discord impromptu live stream. No, I'm not super trashed like I usually am when I do these. However, Ward I'm joined with Ward Off Demons, and he just told me that he's standing back on his Subway sandwiches are hot dogs thing.
I am. And there's two reasons for this. One is I recently went to a Subway. Well, two different Subways I went to recently. Since our last broadcast with this conversation. And both the ones I went to, they sliced the bread completely. Where it was only one place I went to, and there was one guy who wasn't slicing it completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that means that because the bread is sliced completely, there is, the Subways are sandwiches and not hot dogs. However, I've got a bit of a curveball to throw at you, Jables.
Okay.
Let's say you've got your hot dog bun. Right now, typically with a hot dog bun, you slice vertically into the bun, right? And then you kind of put the hot dog in the top, and then you put the onions on top of it. You're not kind of slicing it in the middle on the horizontal.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe we should consider if the angle of the slice would be important in the hot dog stroke sandwiches argument. Like vertical or horizontal. Is that going to make a difference?
Depends
like
on
if
the
you
bread.
slice it horizontally.
Depends on the bread, depends on the bun, depends on the filling.
Yeah, so let's say your filling is like a sausage, and maybe a few onions, a bit of cheese, whatever. If you slice it horizontally, I personally am now thinking you've got a sausage sandwich. If you slice it vertically, then you have a hot dog. And I'm kind of wondering maybe that might be the defining point. I'm not completely deciding on it, but that's what I'm wondering theoretically.
I disagree because you like a hot dog bun is elongated already. So if you slice it horizontally, then you're gonna have a mini baguette with a little tiny piece of meat in the middle. Technically, yes, that would be a sandwich. But I also don't classify 3 pieces of bread stacked on top of each other as a sandwich. There has to be extra filling in there.
However, there was something. This is interesting because a while ago I was looking up for like the Queen's Jubilee a few years back. I was invited to a party where we had to do like historic royal food that we had to make up and take for the buffet.
Mm-hmm.
And I took toast sandwiches. Well, I took the makings of it. And what they used to do in like
Well, toast sandwiches are different because it's 2 pieces of bread with a slice of toast in between.
Yeah,
that's a modified piece of bread that classifies as a filling.
Yeah, and you know what was really weird though, right? They were disgusting. I don't know why people would eat them.
I'd eat them.
Really?
Yeah, butter up the bread and the toast. Fuck it, why not? I eat buttered bread all the time. It's a nice little snack.
Yeah, bread and butter is fine, but I just didn't do the toast in bread. For me it didn't work. It was just too much weirdness.
It seems a little counterproductive. Why not just have 3 pieces of toast? Yeah, I understand that.
But I'm standing back from my Subway sandwiches or hot dogs argument. I stand corrected. I will always hold my hand up when I'm wrong, and yeah, I'm now more awesome than I was a month ago.
All right, so let's now that we're done with the joke, Brainwash, I see you in the chat. If you want to join in, DM me out. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Brainwash, I'm going to DM you a link. Feel free to join in. Yeah, Brainwash, you have a link now. I always love talking to you. Anyways, so the main thing I want to talk about that the title alludes to is the importance of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Even more importantly, the importance of a good audience.
Yeah, that's one of those things that some people don't get.
And one thing that really sparked me to really think about this is Hi, I think I'm Reals channel. He just released 2 videos on the downfall of Andy Warski. I know he's a misnomer in the whole YouTube Saints community. Whatever. Andy Warski, not high. I think I'm real.
Yeah, I realize what you meant, man. I realize what you meant.
He started off cultivating the right audience, and then he developed a bad audience. But having a good or bad audience isn't just related to YouTube. It's also related towards doing magic.
Yeah, yep. We, me, and you can both talk about this field, can't we?
Yeah, I have on several occasions had an audience member, a participant, while I've been doing a magic trick. Oh, by the way, big reveal, everybody! I do magic tricks sometimes.
So do I. I used to do it semi-professionally.
Yeah, we've talked. Oh, Ward, I have a great trick to show you later.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, you've spoken about that.
Super fun. It's like it's psychic surgery with a pack of cigarettes. Great.
Oh, nice.
I actually figured out how to pull it off today. It was super fun. Anyways. So yeah, I have several props that have been absolutely broken by a bad audience member.
Mm-hmm.
They literally like a pencil going through a window thing, and then the window's clear, and somebody just snapped it right in half.
No.
Yeah. Like a $15 fucking prop.
Yeah. That hurts when that happens.
Yeah, that hurts when it happens. And then from the comedian aspect, it's not all on the audience. A lot of it is on the comedian to be able to know their audience and slightly cater to them, or to just have good enough jokes that they can spin things around in the right way. And then there's YouTube, where
before we go into that, can I just something I just thought of here, right? And it's as part of this conversation, the importance of a good / the right audience. One thing that a lot of conversation been happening for a long time here, and I'm sure you've had the same in the States, is that why are in London the West End theatre shows so expensive? Why does it cost so much money to go to the theatre? And aside from, production costs and everything, I just feel like part of it is probably about trying to make sure you get the people in there that are actually going to appreciate it. Because if you're going to make every ticket like, $5, you couldn't with a lot of people in there aren't going to appreciate it and ruin the experience for other audience members and the performers. Wow. Yeah, I'll need to look into that. Thank you. Dude, are you still there? Is your net dropped again?
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
No, I was just saying that, like, with the whole idea of like the good audience members and stuff, that applies to the theatre as well. Particularly, in London's West End and Broadway, tickets aren't cheap. But that's going to be because people are wanting the people in there that are going to appreciate the damn show.
Yeah. Oh.
Rather than have anyone who can just, throw down $5 or $10 the same price as a movie ticket.
Well, yeah, there's Daniel Tosh has a notorious joke. It's there's a reason why I charge so much for tickets to my shows. It's because I don't want somebody that can just find a 20 on the ground walking in here.
Yeah. That's just it.
But but okay, so comedy shows are a little different when it comes to that. I would pay $300 to see a late night Brody Stevens set.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a late night thing, and it was only like a $20 to $40 cover charge to get in. in the first place to see everybody else's set. Brody Stevens, unfortunately, is now dead, but inspired me to do a bunch of other things. So what? Anyways, sorry, I'm getting a little too personal. Let's step away from the personal things and let's talk about you two audiences
Yeah.
and cultivating the right audience and how to do that.
I think that's a very interesting conversation because I mean, there's a lot of people there who don't seem to get it right. I mean, you look at well, the person instead of Andy Borski, he's cultivated a lot of the hard right. Now we wonder is that the right audience? But if it's making him money,
That's the thing.
Maybe.
What do you value, money or integrity?
personally, integrity, but not everyone does.
So let's take the late night saints, our lords and saviors, Nick and Jeff.
Ah.
All hail Zebra, pinkies up.
I pledge allegiance to the saints of the late night Twitch streamers.
Um, through the late night saints, they've cultivated a very interesting, very eclectic, eccentric audience.
Yeah.
Watches them every week.
At the least of it, all good people. All good people.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say. I don't know if I'd even say mostly good people. To be honest with you.
Okay. Oh, I don't know everybody.
I'd say we're all just terrible people for watching the show in the first place.
And even
That's
more terrible if
true.
anybody's dropping money for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so they cultivated that audience by being two internet personalities, but they've been constantly truthful and pretty honest with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I know when Jeff stream individually, he said, "Look, there's certain stuff that I just don't talk about, and you have to deal with that. That's fine." But he's still overall, there's not much he won't discuss in his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even recently, he put on a huge video about his mother passing away, and he actually said how he wanted to be angry and wanted to be upset, but he just couldn't. He was just relieved, and it's like, you know what, that was so honest.
Yeah, that's an issue that I've had that I want to talk to Jeff about. I've wanted to talk to Jeff about that for the last year almost, because my grandma passed away from Alzheimer's, and I had to say goodbye to her 5 years before she actually passed away because she had one moment of lucidity where she finally recognized me again, and then I got to say my goodbyes, and then she was gone again.
Oh, dude.
Interesting. I had the same experience, and it was a very harsh one because my even before all of this ideology things of empowering women and all, my grandmother actually was a very strong lady. I had the pleasure to grow beside a lot of strong women, and Alzheimer's is a motherfucking disease, man. It's a motherfucking condition. Can
Yeah.
just check this out. Like after my grandfather got back from the war, he went through a rough patch, and actually he had some problems with gambling, and things went in a way that actually my grandmother started to providing for the family when he had the problems, and I'm talking about the early 50s. And she had even a college university degree, bachelor's degree. She was a stenographer, and she was a very competent woman in her job, by all means, a very good
Wow.
mother. And to see her mind like just shattering and I mean like dissolving actually was a very harsh experience, very harsh
Yeah.
experience to everyone in the family. I think my father had, still today, he didn't got over that much, because he actually witnessed even more things than I did, and I was actually devastated by it. I mean, but thank the universe I could like say my goodbyes to my granny before she got really
Yeah,
uh
before she lost it all. Yeah, I was
yeah.
able to do that in a brief, like 5 minute moment. I was able to do that. All right, this is talking about Alzheimer's stream now. Yeah, let's get into it.
Well,
I
um,
mean, there's one
so
thing.
this the
wait,
worst
Jables,
thing about
I,
Alzheimer's.
I
sorry,
want to say that I've not
I
been
for
touched by this in my life. Like, all I know is that it's my first real knowledge of it.
Mhm.
Actually came from a TV show, which I then I went and started reading about it, which was The West Wing, and they had an episode called "The Long
Okay.
Goodbye." Um, and
Oh,
and they said, "Do you know why they call this the
that
Long
title
Goodbye?"
hits rough with me.
Yeah, no, I know, and it was one of the lead characters in there. Her father had Alzheimer's, and it was just the acting was superb. It was
Mhm.
absolutely superb because you saw the guy literally his facial expression went on from being the loving father that he was to not knowing who is this stranger in my house and just
Yeah,
being scared. Uh,
yeah. That's the hardest part. Alzheimer's is absolutely a disease, and um, I'll probably drop some links since we're talking about this. I'll probably drop some links to some charities that actually work towards a cure for Alzheimer's later on. Um, but the worst part about it is that it's a disease where your own family member won't know you anymore. Whereas
Mhm.
if somebody has cancer, at least you can be there for them and they'll understand that you're there for them. But if they have Alzheimer's, then they don't understand. They don't even understand who you are
yeah,
when it comes to the end of it. They
Pretty
don't know
much.
you.
They don't know themselves, dude. It's a
No,
very
well, a lot of them they revert back to like their mentality in like their early 20s, maybe even their teens. Unless they develop dementia, then you're absolutely fucked. Um, yeah, it was a there's a movie called Folks. I don't know if anybody has seen that.
no, I haven't.
Oh, it's actually it's a comedy movie. Uh, Alzheimer's grandpa constantly gets into trouble. Blah 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 blah. They kind of make a joke about it, normalizing it, but it's actually a really fucking funny movie. I haven't thought about that in years. I don't know why it just popped in my mind. Uh, anyways, I don't know if there's much more to say about Alzheimer's. I mean,
I think I'll be honest. I think this is getting a bit too real. I think maybe moving on would be a good idea.
okay.
It's getting a bit depressing.
Let's circle back into cultivating an audience.
Yes, yes, let's do that.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like,
So
as you were
they're
saying, the
they're
Satan's done a great job in cultivating their audience,
Hmm.
and
well they've cultivated a good audience, but where they where they're lacking is the same place where my channel's lacking right now. And we're not doing anything too fucking crazy to really get a shit ton of people watching. Which I don't see anything wrong with that necessarily. It's just if you want to grow an audience, you have to do something crazy. That's kind of how the internet has turned lately.
I don't know. I mean, there's one YouTube channel called r/. He's doing nothing crazy, and his channel has blown up.
Well, yeah, and then there's also Organic Olive. Her channel was blown up, but she also got a shout out from Jeff on his main channel. By the way, she was also on this channel. Check out Friday night's episode. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. She's great. She
Same
never
with
breaks
Club
character. She has not broken character since I started talking to her. I'm not even entirely sure that it's a character. Hi, Cats. Cats, I sent you the link, I think.
Hey, Cats. Oh, by the way, hi,
Hey,
Brainwash.
kitty. Oh, Ward. What's up, man? How are you?
Not like, man, not like. It's good. It's 9:10 in the morning. I'm sat here chilling out for the morning, and I was just about to get up. Then I saw the link from Jables. I'm like, what a good way to start my day.
Yeah.
Same thing around
I'm
here,
not
but
sure.
it's 5:25 around here.
Ooh.
I'm still working, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's I think that, I mean, I'm still building my audience, and I'm kind of, where Twitch is concerned, I've kind of realized that, yeah, I needed to start doing something different than I was, and it's working for me now, which is pretty damn cool.
Well, you know what the really fucking weird thing is?
Go on.
This channel actually gets more views when I do these hangouts than the actual show does.
Could that potentially be a timing thing?
I generally do these at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
So basically, you're
My
doing
time.
these at a time when people are getting in from a night out, still on the up.
No, but the views come after.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I think it comes down to what is drunk Jables up to this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to watch Drunk Jables.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. That's funny.
Yeah, other than that one unlisted stream, I'm generally not an asshole, I don't think. Well, it's
No,
debatable. I don't listen back to the hangouts because sometimes they go for 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah. But the thing with that is that we've kind of touched on the money versus integrity thing.
Mhm.
And you know, I genuinely think there's a lot of people that don't understand that. And
Also,
don't give a shit about it, to be honest.
Sorry, could you say that again or maybe rephrase it?
Well, I kind of think that there's some people out there that don't understand the whole, you know, argument of money versus integrity. And then you've got a group of people out there who just don't care about that argument. They just want the money anyway. They don't care, you know, they just don't care about their integrity.
Oh, yeah. Like, I've had a few people DM me asking for Rimtree and I to start up like a Streamlabs for this channel.
Okay.
I don't feel like I've earned it yet, though. That's the problem. if we haven't earned monetization on any platform, I don't feel like we've earned a chance for anybody to donate. By the way, follow our Twitch channel. We just need like 23 more followers. And we'll hit our stream time by next week. So,
And you have the views, the average viewers,
mm-hmm.
easily. So yeah, we need to get that for you.
We already have the average viewers. We average anywhere from 10 to 14 viewers.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's ticked off. That's not going to drop in that time.
The people that watch us are the people that watch us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, but we haven't earned any sort of monetization on any of the platforms yet, so I don't feel comfortable starting a Streamlabs for people to donate money. Plus, if like our entire audience are also the audience of the Late Night Saints, so I feel like if our current audience donates money to us, that's kind of taking away money that the Late Night Saints could have gotten. I don't know.
Incorrect. That's a really bad argument, dude. That one in particular. I disagree with the concept of we haven't earned monetization.
I understand the argument that you're about to put forth. I'm willing to listen to the argument that you're going to put forth, but it doesn't. It's my feelings over your facts, man.
No, I know, but sometimes, but what you have to bear in mind is that this is going off slight sidebar, is that outside influences and stuff don't affect feelings. Influences and knowledge affect thoughts. Thoughts affect feelings. So if somebody can get you to think about things slightly differently, you might feel differently. Now there is a guy who is doing quite well off, said there's plenty of money out there. I have a lot, but there's a lot more that I don't have. Don't feel that just because I've got it means that you can't get money too. He's a business coach, and this was his basic concept. Now, what you've got to bear in mind is that there's plenty of money out there. I don't necessarily believe that people are going to donate less money to Jeff and Nick because they've donated money to you.
Yeah, Jables, stop being a communist.
My example is that I have a set amount of bits that I can give out each month, right?
Yeah,
right.
And but I won't donate more than X amount of bits to one particular streamer. So although I might say donate 1,000 bits to Jeff and Nick on the Saints show, I'll donate a bit more to Jeff streams just because it's really funny when he's doing recordings. But it doesn't mean that just because I might donate 500 bits to you guys doesn't mean I'm going to donate less money to those guys at all. And when it comes to the whole aspect of I haven't earned monetization, I'd like to think about music as an example, right? You see people out there that are doing what they can, and they might get booked for. They might go and do open mic nights, right? So they can't earn money for it because it's an open mic night, which is a bit like what we do on Twitch. We're performing for people to watch us, and if they want to watch, they can come in and watch us. But just those people might not be able to earn money, but they can still be bought a drink at the bar. Would you say no to a drink at the bar after doing an open mic session? Because someone wants to say, I really enjoy your show, let me buy you a pint.
Your analogy would have worked better with me with comedy, for one thing.
Yeah, but I use music because I go to more music open mic nights.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So you're saying we should treat the Twitch channel like an open mic night?
No, well, within the terms of service, I think there's a kind of a base for comparison. So what you've got to bear in mind is that just because you've got the Streamlabs button down there for a donation.
So
doesn't mean that people have to donate. You're giving people an option. And
Hmm.
who are you to decide where I spend my money?
So Brainwash is an actual musician. By the way, check out the few videos that he put out lately. They're pretty fun. He has a couple 360 ones that were pretty interesting to actually see everybody in the studio in all different angles.
Cool.
Thank you.
Brainwash, what do you think about what do you think about Ward just said about the open mic nights for musicians?
Joe, I totally agree, man. Because you see, like, you're giving the audience just an option. It's not like you're stealing something from anybody else. And besides, the pre-show is pointing people now to the YouTube Saints, sorry, Late Night Saints Twitch through the raid. But you always did that, so actually, it's just like a smaller channel which is growing up its base. Like, uh, you guys work a lot, man.
Mhm.
This I know.
No, we don't.
So, oh, dude, come on. Yeah, you guys do work for the channel. You guys do engage in bringing the articles and having a good time. And I think this is entertaining. So it has its own merit, you know. So it's not stealing. At least I don't think it seems to be like that. So, well, the point would be like, as a musician, for instance, I play now in 4 different bands, right? And sometimes according to what you just described, I would like mind sharing one band with the guys because maybe one band would steal the audience from the other. But well,
No.
I think people could just like enjoy both artists' works,
Yeah.
So there's no
And like I
there's no
say, so
problem with that.
Jables, can I ask? You're kind of more left-leaning centrist politically, right? Because and the reason I
No,
ask
no,
the question,
no. Hold the fucking phone. Okay, one fucking second. Let me pull up my Twitter real quick.
I'm just curious because right now, by you saying to people, I'm not going to let them have a choice in how they spend their money, it seems like you're being a kind of a dictator.
This
No,
is
no, 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 no. You fucking cunt.
this is why I told you, Jables, not to be a communist.
All right, here's what
Rich
we're
can
gonna
be created. It's not limited.
present to everyone. Screen
Well,
share,
actually, well,
share.
oh, language barrier. Come on, come on.
Did you like that one, Cats?
Oh, come on.
Uh,
Oh, infinite tunnel.
come on, James.
There you go.
Close the Pornhub window, please.
That's my political compass test. You fucks.
Infinite tunnel. Oh, there it is. So
Okay.
So you were centrist libertarian.
Yeah,
Cool.
I am exactly 0.0 centrist libertarian. Thank you very much.
Okay. So you're centrist, fantastic. But like I say, my argument still stands. You're acting like a dictator by telling people where they can spend their money.
No, I'm not telling people where they can spend their money. I'm telling people I don't deserve your money.
But you're not giving them the choice. And if you gave them the choice,
God damn it.
if you gave them the choice, right? Maybe I think you deserve money. Maybe I think you eventually deserve the money for the work you're putting in. Maybe what you could say is on your Streamlabs thing, everything that we get off this will not go to beer and hookers. It will go into upgrading the show, better equipment, more stuff, and stuff like that.
Oh, we're not going to get more staff, but
No stuff for the show, like computer stuff, not staff.
no, it's booze for Jables. That's what the money's going to go to. We all know this.
Well, okay, we'll be honest then, and let's be perfectly fair. As you've already said, right? More people watch this kind of impromptu show than the actual show because they want to see what drunk Jables will get up to. So, by Jables getting more drunk for the show, it will be more entertaining. So it will still go into the show in a way, just a long-winded way.
Yeah.
Jables be pro-choice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cats.
Yeah, Jables, you're meant to be pro-choice, so be pro-choice for this as well.
Cats, would you donate money to me? Word triggering Jables in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you did trigger me.
That was funny. But dude, like I say on that, right? I mean, if you actually put it down there and no one gives money, you don't think you deserve it, so it's not going to be any skin off your nose if no one gives you money. Unlike some of the other Twitch streamers out there that I've seen that have been, you have to donate because you're watching my content for free and you can't watch my content for free. That was a Twitch thought.
Okay, but to actually, this goes into another conversation that we were going to have about atheist channels.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't pay thoughts. You do certain things to earn my money. Cats, I will do anything you want to earn your money.
And if it's not on Twitch terms of service, he'll do it off stream for you.
I have a verified Pornhub account. I'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom. No, literally all you have to do to have a verified Pornhub account is upload a video and also have your screen name written on your body. It's super easy.
Is that it? How easy is it to turn money off there? Nick, hello, dude.
Oh, hey. Hold on. Let me toss Nick the link.
Yeah, Jables actually isn't that drunk tonight.
I'm actually relatively sober. I'm drinking coffee right now, Nick. Get fucked.
Oh, I wouldn't trust that. Jables is very keen on pretending he's not drunk. But I believe...
No. I can normally tell because Jables gets a little bit more angsty when I trigger him when he's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good metric for it. That's a good metric. For it.
Yeah, I
had to
start
agree.
yelling. Yeah, Nick, I just sent you a link for the Hangout. Feel free to pop in. We're talking about audiences and whether or not... there you are.
Hey,
Mr. Wizard.
Hello.
I was trying to catch up on the last half of Poisoning the Wells stream, talking about good old Andy.
We were just talking about that.
I didn't think they were going to stream till Sunday night, but...
No, I guess Pat's got to go see it's this hip new band called Bowling for Soup.
Wait.
I'm not even joking. He's going to see... No, I shit you not. Pat is going to see Real Big Fish and Bowling for Soup.
Whoa.
You know what the worst part is? I'm not surprised.
Well, no, he's old as fuck. Of course. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, if Fane's gotten over the fact that Elvis Presley's never going to tour again, so now he's just hoping the Family Values tour comes back.
Oh, come on. He's not touring again, man. I was hoping I'd see like Elvis and Bob Marley, but I think maybe I missed the train.
I was hoping
you
for
might have
an
missed
Elvis,
that,
Bob Marley, and Tupac.
Well, and
get
of course, Freddie Mercury would have to open.
John's in there.
By the way, can we all take a moment to still like raise an angry fist in the air about the fact that I'm suspended from Twitter for at least another 4 days?
What?
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw up pinkies up for you.
Yeah.
I'll throw an angry pinkies out.
I would love to tweet this stream out, except I'm not allowed to because Jack is oppressing me. I mean, I know there's a lot of issues in the world these days that we have to worry about. Things we have to like focus on, like war with Iran, global climate change, all these things. But the fact is like, I'm not on social media right now, and that is just I feel like I'm lumering here.
But the thing is, though, that if you moan about it, people just say you're privileged because you're white and male.
No, you're privileged because you're still on Twitter.
Exactly.
Sorry.
It's unfair. I have so many wonderful thoughts to share with people about how to treat their butter, and I can't.
Well, do you know what you should do? You should just. I think we need to try and bring MySpace back. It's still out there.
I got a lot of pussy off of MySpace, so I'm all about that. I'm fine with that. Yeah, it was like that was basically like Tinder before we had Tinder.
Yeah.
It was like I still remember in the Boondocks, the cartoon, the Boondocks, like, y'all, we gotta get some bitches over in this party. Y'all ninjas ever heard of MySpace? And I never thought about trying to troll for pussy on MySpace, and then I did it, and my God, I was drowning in it. Good times. Oh, by the way, yes, Cats and Lady Hi. Please don't mind my frivolous use of the word pussy, because hanging out in the Saints Discord, I know most of you are very sensitive to language. So
I feel oppressed.
you are oppressed, but you can just shut the fuck up about it because I'm worse. Okay, there's a hierarchy.
He doesn't have Twitter.
Exactly. There's a hierarchy here. I'm forced to post my funny jokes to Facebook, where the only people who can see them are my quote-unquote friends and family who know I'm not funny, so they don't humor me the way Twitter people do.
Oh, fucking hell.
Like
You guys are
90% of my tweets are making fun of Sofan, so
Well, that's what Twitter was invented for. I can't even make fun of Sofan right now. I'm sitting here thinking about all of these boomer jokes, and I just have to keep them to myself.
Nick, DM me your jokes, Sofan, and I'll credit you.
I can still DM now, which is nice. So
You can live vicariously.
Yeah.
So Nick, actually, oddly enough, you're one of the perfect people to join in on this conversation.
Oh, I'm sure this will be a fantastic conversation then.
Yeah, we were talking about an audience, whether it's better to have a money-making audience or an audience that actually gives a shit.
Depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to pay your bills?
Oh, that's fair. Then you should go the Andy Worski route.
I mean, at this point, no, you don't go the Andy Jaworski route. You just go the cognitive thought route, which is like,
oh yeah,
I'm just going to be a shameless little like whorebag who does nothing except talk about other people who are more clever and talented than I am.
Yeah, I think cognitive thought. I think he's had a stream sniped video that had like 47 ads through like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, no, motherfucker like reloaded. Motherfucker like posted an entire like half-hour clip from one of my live streams.
What?
Like yeah, no, when I did that like 8-hour fundraiser stream trying to raise money for Dankula's defense fund.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there was a part where that fat autist failure accomplished showed up, and he started roasting that virgin autist charming man. And yeah, Cog just whole cloth ripped that entire thing down and posted it to his channel.
Oh
shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, this is the nature of YouTube these days. I was talking about it on my stream earlier, and it's one of the things that really, really makes me hate this fucking platform. Because we can blame the YouTube staff for being bad at their jobs all day. Easy as pie. I mean, like, it's easy as breathing.
Well, it's not even the staff. It also comes down to the algorithm and how they implement.
Yeah, but who put the algorithm together? Everyone working at YouTube is fucking incompetent. We can agree on that. I mean, shit. I actually found two of my videos were 100% copyright claimed by some random anon fuck whose entire channel is nothing but ripped and re-uploaded videos from myself, Undoomed, and Kraut T, right? You can
So
look
hang
at
on, this guy ripped your video, re-uploaded them, then copyright claimed your video saying it was his content.
Yep, 100% copyright claimed,
Wow.
and YouTube let it go through. And when I went to challenge it, they're like, "Oh, well, you need to give them your name, address, phone number, and all of your personal information in order to challenge this." And so I wrote to YouTube saying, "Listen, I've been for like the last year and a half, 2 years now. I've been the target of like these doxing fucking 8chan kids, these the cowboard kids and all that shit. Like they've sent cops and feds and DCYF to my friends' houses by using this information. If you just look at this, you can see that this is my video. Mine was uploaded first, then they uploaded theirs. And they're like, well, sorry, sir, but we're just legally not able to do that. Like, okay, yeah, so you're fucking incompetent is what you're telling me. So we got that. But even worse still, what I realized recently was like, okay, and then we can look to like these shitbag content creators like Warski or Cog or any of these other IBS fuckbags, right? And we could say, yeah, they are abject shitbags. Like we can look to like the phony fucks like Jim, who Mr. like I'm gonna spend years bagging on anybody who tries to make a living online. And then as soon as I open a Patreon, I'm gonna go from being internet historian guy to being I'm gonna be shitster drama guy. And then as soon as anything splashes back on me, oh, I've got health problems, guys. Please keep giving my Patreon. I've got health problems. I can't make video. Fuck you, Jim. You pathetic faggot. And so, but the worst thing is still, though, neither of those parties are actually the people that we can actually blame because it's the audiences. It's the people who support them. It's the people who watch their shit and cheer them on. And
yeah,
it's the people who pay for dog shit events in Knoxville, Tennessee. And it's the people I've even had like I've had like members of my own audience. I remember like when the drama shit went down. I'll just say, let's say he's a service member from a particular southern state, and he's really proud to have that as his name. Yeah, he was a hardcore supporter of mine. And then as soon as that happened, he jumped ship and went full bore. Couldn't wait to like buddy up to the Warski crowd. Same thing with AG or Agluck there. These pathetic simpering fuckwits who empower these dipshit creators who make everything worse for everyone else. They are centrally the fucking problem. It's stupid people following stupid people because they need to get their chuckle fuck rocks off by listening to some dog shit.
It's all Jerry Springer. It's
I wish it was Jerry Springer. That had Jerry Springer and Maury Povich look like Downton Abbey compared to this shit.
Yeah, and well, I mean,
but it's that mindset.
You hold on. So Nick, you can attest to this, and also like I've given you shit, Nick, for some of the things that you've done online.
Because I probably don't remember half of them.
Yeah, exactly. You read my DMs. But I've also given Jeff a bunch of shit. But I still support you too because I think down in the deep and rough, you guys are good.
Well, I chuckle about this quite a bit with Jeff. Like, if the entirety of the Saints Discord actually watched the show, we'd have much better numbers than we do. But I mean, like I'd say like easily half of the Discord regulars don't even bother with the show because that's not what it's about with them. It's about like the community that they've found and they're a part of.
It's its own beast. The Discord server is its separate thing.
I'm actually kind of happy about that. I mean, I remember I think it was Dragon Axe one time was saying like he doesn't watch the show because he doesn't like me for whatever reason. Okay?
Oh! It got worse than that. It got worse than that recently.
He got what?
Yeah, he got worse than just saying because he doesn't like you. He actually went full on vitriolic against you and Jeff.
What's his deal? And here's the mysterious thing. I know what is his deal. I don't know what. Like, were one of the women I casually fucked at one of these conventions his mother or something?
Basically he thinks you two are dishonest. What was the wording he used? I can't remember. Cats
Well,
was in on
I'm
this.
really tempted to go nuke his ass out of the fucking server right now, to be honest with you.
I honestly, it went.
Wait. As an admin of the server, I cannot condone it. However, since Nick, you are a saint in the server, you can do whatever you please.
No, what's he been saying recently?
Give me a minute. I'm going back to it so I can get it word for word.
Because
The
I mean,
boys are.
honestly, yeah, I mean, like,
Oh,
if
no,
he
he
feels
said-
that strongly, he doesn't need, he can take his ball and go home.
He said,
Wait.
and I quote, hang on, James, we've got to read this out word for word. And I quote, the boys are dishonest, self-absorbed, and only care about their sycophants, $, $.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
Whatever.
I basically, Katz told him to take it from general to debate or discussion, which he didn't want to do. He just wanted to say his piece and not get called out on it, but that didn't happen because I took it into debate or discussion.
There are people in the chat. Let's leave it up to the people in the chat to decide because they're actually in the server.
Yeah, but I own,
especially cats.
Yeah, but I own the server.
Okay, yeah, do whatever you please.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, no, I mean, and the sad thing too is like, the guy's got every opportunity if he wants. If he's got something to say, he can say it to me directly.
And the thing is, though, Nick, I actually asked him to say, look, can you please explain where they've been dishonest? I put it that I don't know, I'm fairly new, but I've never found that with either you or Jeff. And he just wouldn't.
I think the most quote unquote dishonest thing you've done is not reveal everything about your personal lives, but that's okay.
No,
You shouldn't reveal everything about your personal lives.
No, in the interest of
internet.
In the interest of transparency, I have just DM'd him saying, "So you're shit talking in our server. Why are you there?" Because honestly, like this is my thing. If you don't like the show and you don't like the hosts, right? Then you don't need to hang around in our little cafe there.
The thing is that there's been one show that I'll be honest, dude, transparency, one show I didn't enjoy, and that was largely because the guest you had on, I just didn't get it, so I thought, one show I'll sit out.
Who's that?
Magog.
What?
How do you not don't get Magog?
I don't
like Jeremy.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's not my cup of tea.
Go to his channel.
He's basically Magog is basically like he's a cosplaying wizard dude who is effectively Triumph the insult comic dog.
Yeah, go to Ward. Right. Go to his channel. Start watching the videos from about 6 months back.
Okay.
And then go from there.
Okay, thank you. Look, I just didn't get it. I didn't know if it was just because I was too tired or what, but I just didn't get it. So I thought, okay, I'll sit this one out. But it wasn't
a fucking wizard from another realm.
Jeremy is a genuinely, and I was actually saying this on my Twitch stream earlier tonight, or last night as it was, and it kind of connects to what I was saying before about these these shitty non-content creators. And I say non-content because all they do is they just show up and shit talk, or they scream aim, 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 right? But I mean, these guys are flourishing. People who do nothing but shit talk and act like cunts, they're flourishing. Meanwhile, you've got Beard Barian, who is a goddamn brilliant, like, creative person. He's a fucking genius. I love his work, and he is a genuinely good guy who puts a lot of effort and thought into what he does. Magog puts a lot of effort and thought. Put a lot of effort and thought into side quest before that went tits up, right? Like, people who are actually trying to make genuinely fun content are drowning. They're getting fucked left and right. And meanwhile, these like mugging.
They're shit stories. People like drama.
Yeah, and it's fucking pathetic.
That's
and
why,
it really genuinely.
It's why I like people like Tiger Beat back in the day.
What's the kind of thing that makes me fucking? I mean, it makes me fucking furious though, because it's like people who are creative, people who put effort into it. I mean, I have to wonder how many people who have the potential and the talent and the ability right?
No,
To do
no,
good,
there's
to do good work, don't even bother, because they look at the nature of the market and they say, why should I bother? All anyone wants is drama and shit talk and all this.
I was there. I was there until
Okay.
recently, dude. That's exactly where I was.
So Nick, there's one person that deserves all of it. She deserves all the praise. That's Organic Olive. She
I hope
she has not broken character throughout all of the DMs that we've had, throughout the pre-show discussion, throughout the entire show, throughout the post-show discussion. She has not broken character one fucking second.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you on this on just a personal note. I'm really glad to see her like brought into this community of ours, right?
Yes.
And
I dragged her in.
Oh no, and I'm glad you did. And I'm past my old days of let's just say courting women from afar, because it's always blown up in my face. But I'm like, God damn it, she's pretty and she's funny. This is not fair. Why is there no one like this in my area, huh? It's all just land whale baby mamas who
no cats.
forge
I'm not
L&Ms.
love. Fuck off.
Oh, it's
Sorry,
okay,
looking at the
Jables.
chat.
It's okay if you are, because I mean, I'm sure I'm like, like every other worthwhile woman on the internet, completely unavailable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, what you saying before, Nick? What you saying
No,
before?
she just has a quality channel, and she doesn't break character.
Oh, she's got chops, right? Honestly, I thought like because I was listening to the show, and even seeing her in a live chat of last night's show, I'm like, fuck me, like her improv game in terms of just being quippy is almost better than her written work.
Well, you heard a decent amount of the pre-show last night. Night before last night. Yeah, you heard a decent amount of that.
I'm starting to wonder if it's even really a character.
Dude, that's what Jables said like
That's
half an
what I'm
hour ago
wondering
before we went
too.
on stream.
Yeah. Before we went live, Ward and I were talking about that. I don't know anymore. I'm really confused.
Well, I mean, I'm sure like the organic flower child thing. That's a bit, but
Oh yeah, and all
no.
the
No, she's
hey, ethereal beings.
No, I have a feeling
that
I have a feeling she's like the kind. She's basically a comedian in which everything has to be a joke. Everything has to be a joke.
She's Kaufman-esque.
One thing I remember about the whole thing of what you're saying, breaking character, reminds me of a film called The Prestige.
Oh, get fucked.
No, and it's the old bloke. It's not about the main character. It's the old bloke that they're studying at the beginning.
No.
The old crippled Chinese bloke with the glass fishbowl.
Well, yeah, but this, I mean, like...
Yeah, but okay. Ward, you're talking to somebody that has a lot of fun doing a bunch of magic tricks.
Yeah, so do I.
Prestige is not the movie.
No, but it's the thing about breaking character. It's just that bit about breaking character. The guy with the fishbowl, he doesn't break character once. He walks around like he's crippled. But yet the guy's strong as an ox and he can hold a fishbowl full of water and he's dying.
The trick I think I noticed, and what makes it work. And it's actually kind of something I kind of wish I'd given Magog a little pushback on, just in terms of like craft, right? In terms of comedy. Are you guys familiar with the term yes and then?
Yeah,
I'm familiar with that.
Improv 101.
Yeah, it's the fundamental nature of improv. And it's funny too, though, because when you actually adopt it as more of like a broader philosophy, it takes you to some interesting places. But I mean, like with Magog, so you can be riffing with him, and he'll start to push back because he wants to drag it somewhere else, and so it'll go with a no. Like Olive seems like the kind of person it's always yes and then. It's like, oh yeah, no, and let's run with this, and that's what really makes it work. That's
well, her lemon party video is a perfect example of that. Because
really are you are crushing so hard, aren't you? It's okay. We can make a club. It's fine.
Well, no. And
I
the
can
dog
hear
is.
you blushing through the speakers now. It's amazing.
Oh no! Oh no! Fuck, get fucked.
It's all fluffy. He's all getting the vapors now.
Oh no!
Aren't
Let
you
me grab
so
my
glad
fan.
you brought
All right.
So I gotta ask though, Jables. I've noticed you've been doing this more and more. Like, what's leading you to? Are you just bored at stupid hours of the morning, and you're like, I'm just gonna stream now. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
And typically, it's quite handy for me. At this time in the morning, I'm generally just getting up. It's like, okay, screw it, I'll join in. I'm doing nothing better while I wake up.
I haven't.
Yeah, my European friends like to join, and actually these random hangouts actually get more views than any of our regular shows.
I guess that kind of brings it back around again in that sense, though, because I mean,
Well, it's cultivating an audience by being real and actually having a real conversation with everybody.
well, yeah, but not just that. I mean, like 3 or 4 years ago, right? These kind of hangouts with just people having a good time talking to each other, making jokes, talking about what's going on. That was fun entertainment now. And it's just really, I find it fucking baffling, especially when it, because I think I'm Real did a really good job with his Andy Worski breakdown series that he did. And he points out that, yeah, it really was sad that the sort of anti-SJW world kind of centered around that stuttering clown for so long. And it was sad too, because I mean, there was so much of it. Like, so many people were there, like, "Oh, I'm intellectual. This is intellectual discussion." Your Sargonista types, and for that all to have actually fed into and funneled into this brain dead, shit flinging, backbiting, incestuous cunt fuck of a genre that's emerged from it. I mean, it's funny because as I find myself drifting back, well, not drifting back, but really just like finding my old liberal legs again, my old lefty outrage as it was. It's funny because I find myself thinking like, wow, like, okay, those people were pretty bad before that I used to work with. But what I moved into in this YouTube world, they pretended so well, audience and creator alike, that they were, genuine, thoughtful people. And then you find out so many of them are just trend hoppers.
Well, that's why SoFan does the whole internet centrist TM. Which I fucking love that meme.
Oh, fans
constantly call him a libtard.
One thing I could say, the lads at Poisoning the Well, I utterly adore them because they're just genuinely good people. Who honestly, I find the worst part about them, primarily Pat, is he's falling into what I'm increasingly calling the Jeff Holiday trap, which is you meet someone from YouTube. They seem cool, you have a good time, and then you say, yeah, they're good people, right up until you find out what abject fucking shitbags they really are.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff, well, this is the thing.
Poor Jeff. Poor Jeff.
Jeff gave me so much pushback after, like, I smelled that really phony fucking vinyl stench off of Bunty King, because Bunty King is one of the biggest phonies I've ever met in my fucking life. And then last week, everyone was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Bunty's just a social climber." Like, you really? Really?
He blogged Young Crip and Ricky Berwick.
No, I know, that's the thing. Is like, here's the thing.
Two of the most lovable people on the internet.
No, listen.
Hang on, wait. Ricky Berwick, is that the guy? Yeah, that's the guy I think it is, isn't it? The guy who just makes really fun, short, entertaining skip videos.
I understand if you disagree with him shoving Oreos up his ass, but that's beside the point.
Here's some insider YouTube track shit, right? But I mean, like with VidCon, Like I've been to 2 VidCons. I'm never going to another one. Fuck
No?
VidCon, up and down. Fuck the people who go. I want nothing to do with it.
No, I
But it
like
was. I mean,
the only reason why I would go to VidCon is for Jeff, Billy, Ben, and if you were going, yeah, I'd meet all of you.
No,
and
that's why.
if Magog was going,
Well, no, that's why
I'd love to
that's
meet
why we
him.
went. But after the first VidCon, though, right? After the first one I went to, 2017. We all had this great party. This is also when I figured out like Sargon fell off, because his drunk ass was like hanging on my shoulder, talking about how what good friends we are and how we're in this fight together. I'm like, yeah, it's good, Carl. Yeah, great. And at the same time, like I watched Lacey Green, who I do consider an actual good friend of mine. We talk quite a bit now. But she straight up told him like about the thousands and thousands of like threats and hateful fucking nasty messages she got from his audience, and he was like, I had no idea. And when we all left there, like people left there feeling like espousing this notion that we'd all had this like new understanding, and then only a handful of people actually held on to it. And when we were there, though, afterwards there was this big Twitter DM group, and I noticed this funny thing, and I even tested it. Like I could invite Bunty on the show, or I could send him a message, right? And I wouldn't get a response. I'd even know that he got it, but I wouldn't get a response. And then I could have somebody with a higher ranking, as it was on YouTube, do the same thing, and he'd respond right away. And that's the thing is he's this predacious social climber. His only interest is in growing brands and doing brand deals.
Yeah, well, he's a marketing guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was trying to say this to people, especially Jeff. He's like, oh yeah, no, I can't wait to get like before Kilroy. Jeff got the idea to put this big stream together with like Rucka and Bunty and Repsion and roaming.
Oh, I love Repsion. I love Repsion.
Dan's a good guy. Dan's a bit of a cunt. I'm not going to say.
Yeah. I've met
He's
Dan.
my kind
Okay. To be fair, I have followed Repsion's channel since he was a Christian.
I don't watch his shit, to be honest with you.
Or cats.
I don't.
Well, it's all in his.
I could not give less of a fuck
Hey,
about.
He's very nice. He's very nice in person. His girlfriend's also very nice.
Guy. I'm not big on his. I'm not big on his.
I'm not. It's not a
like
dig at him as a personal thing.
Yeah.
It's a creator thing.
Yeah, as a person, I love Dan. As a creator, I'm subscribed to him, and I'll like tune into one of his videos, and I'll be like, I can't be bothered. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I mean, Anissian shat in a sock one time. Yeah, I need 20 minutes about that.
I don't live too far from Dan or Anissian, so I kind of want to know how Anissian's fucking with my state without giving him views.
Yeah. But I mean,
interestingly, I found out from somewhere else, not a Repsion channel, but apparently Anissian's bought more wetlands.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I was trying to get to about Jeff, though, is like I was trying to explain this shit to him. I'm like, yeah, like listen, like these people, they're not all good people, Jeff. They're not. A lot of them are phonies. A lot of them are show business phonies. And he's like, no. And then it's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. You remember when I've gotten to a point now where I don't even bother with the "I told you so" shit, because I know he already just knows.
Yeah.
It's
have I missed with Bunty?
It's worse, huh?
What have I missed with Bunty King? Because like I say, I'm still fairly new into the whole YouTube and creator stuff.
No, if you're new in this, my best advice is go run, get as fast as you can.
Okay, so the only people that I've bothered to like personally interact with is you, Jeff, Ben, Billy, Internet Common Etiquette, Eric Salvia.
You talked to Eric?
We've shared a couple DMs.
Oh, he's fucking great, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a sweetheart.
I think
He's
But like and then yeah, I don't know who else. But yeah, I keep it pretty simple.
I mean, well, here's something that's an unpopular opinion, but like one of like on a personal level, as a person, one of the best people I've come to know from YouTube is actually Mundane Matt. And it's funny because Matt actually, he got really pissed when I told him this. 'Cause he really tried to deny it, and I'm like, yeah, well, dude, listen, I mean, you're in certain ways for a long time you were that same way. Like if somebody, I never had a conversation with Mundane Matt until I broke 10,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I know who you are now. Really?
Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I met Monday Matt last year at PAX.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
You know that picture that Jeff posted with him like lifting the boulders?
Yeah.
That was mine and Sergeant Buck's idea.
Oh.
Jeff stole that idea and stole the picture for himself.
Well, on that same note, let me just, as a matter of record, I'd like to point out in Poisoning the Well stream tonight, they gave Staggers and Jags a whole bunch of credit for the joke content pinata. That was mine. That was my joke. Yeah, that was my joke. Ethan Ralph is a content pinata. You just hit that gunt and.
By the way, you hear that? You hear that, chat? Spam. Wait, sorry, don't spam.
Yeah, just go to Twitter, #content pinata, tag Staggerson Jags, and tell them good joke, bro.
No. What you do is type in content pinata #Nick's joke.
Well, it was like Jags is saying he's like because I said I typed that in their chat, and then like Jags just laughed about it and just repeated the word content pinata, and then Pat laughed about it and they gave him credit, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm sorry, dude, I was trying. I just thought it was funny. And I'm like, nah, it's all right as long as the joke landed. It was like a bit of a layup or something. I don't know how basketball works. He's like, it was a great field goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, run like the wind. I mean, like this, so like I tried to make it. I tried to work my way into the acting world, in the film world for a while, and I met a lot of phony motherfuckers, even down in New Orleans, doing that. And
no comparison to the YouTube creators.
Oh God, no. Because the thing is at least in like at least in the film world, the people who are like phonies and like weird and shit like that, most of them at least have some kind of talent. But then when you're in the YouTube world, that's when you run across the Andy Warskis. That's when you run across the fucking the Ralph retorts and the failure accomplished. Like, hey, I'm a fat guy. Isn't that funny, guys?
I'm gonna say some things with no substance behind them.
I'm fat and illiterate. Isn't that great? I can't read.
Can I eat a goblet full of gummy worms within an hour?
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, that's the kind of shit. Like YouTube is basically like the nightmare version of cable access. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit! You actually technically have more people on the show right now than you have watching.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really give a shit.
No. I just noticed that, so I'm like, well, that just tells me that one of you doesn't have the stream open.
I do.
Yeah,
I bet I
only have the chat open. But by the way, one of those people is also another version of me that I'm running off of another computer.
Wait a second, you're telling me I've been having odd fantasies about what I thought was Cats and Lady, and it's actually just you?
Yeah, totes.
Okay.
Or
Lady, it's just me. We can even speak at the same time.
Listen. No, I only brought that up because like I try to separate my fantasies of Cats and Lady from my fantasies of you, Jables.
Oh, well,
it's really confusing when I get them mixed up.
Now you got to combine them.
Well, isn't that what the whole shipping thing is?
Oh God, I've just had this thought in my head because I recently watched the two Bill and Ted movies, and now I've got this kind of in my head of Jables and cats just running at each other to combine.
Oh Christ! I'm so happy you explained where you were going with that because my mind. Well,
that's.
I've honestly thought
to-
about
to-
having
to
sex
be
with
more
Jables lots of
specific-
times, but then I watched Bill and Ted, and I said I'd rather have sex with George Carlin.
By the way, to be more specific, Ward is talking about Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey,
Yeah.
where
Thank you for clarifying, Jables.
Yeah.
I was worried there for a second.
It's a movie that nobody watches. Everybody watches Excellent Adventure. Nobody watches Bogus Journey.
I saw Bogus Journey in theaters.
It was quite a good movie.
Yes, you did. By the way,
No, I've not been drinking.
I was
Red.
born
I'm
in
just
'93.
delirious and lack of sleep.
I'm 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
shut up, both of you.
Oh, what
It's okay.
What are you
It's
saying?
okay. Jeff's like 40 by now.
No, I'm older than Jeff.
You're 40.
I'm going to be 38 in like 3 days.
Well, you know,
Yeah, Liv. I also have both on DVD.
the nice thing about growing old is that death is permanent.
Okay.
I've got nothing else. That's it. That's all.
Do you know what really gets me with that? I mean, you make a good point there, Nick, and I'm thinking something else, which is that death is permanent. And you know what? Everyone's scared of dying. It can't be that bad. Has anybody ever come back to complain?
Who is scared of dying? I'm not scared of dying.
Good one.
I get
good one.
my response to death threats is like, listen, if you can do what I couldn't, then more power to you.
Oh fuck!
Wow.
Like I was trying.
My mom
Before I was
sometimes listen to this, so I'm not going to talk about my own suicide stories.
before I was yeeted off of Twitter like I was, I really wanted to offer Carlos Mazza this piece of advice that, like, you know, any good writer or artist, but especially writer, needs to be filled with self-loathing. So when you get that online bullying, you need to take it as constructive criticism. Like, no, you're a fag. Like, yeah, I know that. And you're like, oh, that's a good point too. Thank you.
Yes.
You know, it's like I need, use the internet to refine your own sense of self-loathing to a point where you can get it down to a fucking science.
But in just life like that, I mean, like, I used to weigh like the double that I do now. And one time I was with my uncle and he started telling me how fat I was and how bad that was and how ugly I was. And I told him, like, you know what? I do love you and I am fat, and tomorrow I'll be better or healthier, and you still be a douchebag every single day you wake
Yep.
up. So,
Wow.
that happens.
I mean, good on you on two notes. One, saying that, and on the other side too, I was really expecting that story to end with how wonderful P90X was. So.
I like the reference, Nick. Sorry.
P90X, that's the
Red-
workout thing, isn't it?
I should have gone with keto. I should have gone with keto on that one.
Hold on, Red Royals has a good point. If
No,
dying were
no,
that bad,
dude.
everyone would stop doing it.
Check out. It was all Zumba. It was all Zumba. Don't worry. Believe me.
Jazzercise, man. I can't say enough about it.
Okay,
I'm like,
can we?
I'm like
Can we
Richard
talk about
Simmonsing
how,
out every day.
Hey, Liv.
Can we?
Hey.
Can we all talk about how Zumba is just the modern day aerobics?
No, it's a modern day Taibo.
Oh,
See, I lost weight by embracing my inner Catholic and just making like every week Lent for a while.
I'd
also get raped by an old man, but that was different.
I lost about 60 pounds through the great weight loss plan called Poverty.
Oh, fuck.
Mm.
Wow.
Actually, this plan is so great. They try to instate it like
Implement it in Venezuela.
implement it like nationwide in Venezuela recently,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
working.
I actually did manage. I lost a lot of weight. I was up around 220 around towards the end of 2017, and then now I affectionately call her Deli Meats because she had a really, really big labia. But no, when I had that little harlot AJ living here, who moved herself out from Oregon and then showed up on my doorstep in February. Yeah, when she left, that kind of sucked, and I was like so depressed I couldn't eat anything. And then I got a scale, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm down to 198. Holy shit! I need to like market this as a weight loss solution. Like, hey guys, you're looking to lose a few pounds, get rid of those love handles, fall in love with a thought, and then have her leave you for a guy who calls himself Thor. You'll shed those pounds in no time. You'll also
Man, I have a different solution. Be a little bit broke and then smash your face into a sink and then have to pay for cash because you don't have health insurance.
It's like, yeah. If you're broke and you smash all of your teeth out, you can't afford the food processor to liquefy your pork chops.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, you've seen the picture of me with my busted out teeth.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but you
Everyone
with that
has.
broken ass
$4,000
tooth.
later, I'm finally paid off now.
Well, listen, I mean, like the trick to being broke, though, and I did it today. I reapplied for food stamps and Medicaid today. So, booyah, I don't even pay taxes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
Well, hang on, listen. I mean, I'm trying to be charming here, expressing depression and poverty to the lady. Can we let one of the ladies talk, huh?
I have nothing
No.
to say.
That's what they all say. Well, that or let me out of here.
Liv, you just joined Liv just joined the stream, so what you got to say, Liv?
She's been unusually quiet.
I think we've broken Liv.
I don't think that's possible, but yeah.
I was just thinking of that wonderful Jimmy Carr joke. Like, as a comedian, yes, I have lots of women coming to me after the show. Lots of them in my dressing room, trying to bang the door down. Sometimes I let them out. I mean, I'm still actually, when I get, because I was offered, I kind of mentioned this, but like, so I was going to do an open mic night, but then they shut down the open mic because Manchester's only interested in shitty cover bands. And I was just chatting with like this group of my neighbors the other day, and they were all sitting down and I was standing up, and I ended up just riffing like I do. And they were in stitches, and one of them was like, I can get you a slot on this stand-up night downtown. Like, it's the actual big stand-up night we have here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, great. I mean, I'd love to go and bomb at an Irish bar, but I don't know if they're Catholic or Protestant, so I wouldn't know how to go about it correctly. But no, I was gonna get up there. I have a couple jokes. One of them is like, so yes, now listen, I've got some jokes that are a bit edgy. I don't want anyone to be upset, though. I don't want anyone to be worried. I'm not gonna, the rape jokes, for instance, off limits. There's nothing funny about rape, nothing at all. I mean, I can barely manage an erection, let alone get a laugh when this crying, tied up woman's in front of me. So don't worry about that. I'm not. I won't be making any rape jokes tonight because I'm not a monster. I'm just a rapist.
Oh, God damn it.
Dun, dun, dun.
So man, my first open mic, I just talked about how I almost died from smoking weed.
How?
Cottonmouth. It's a killer.
Yeah, I like that.
God, I just thought of 30 different ways to make that racist. It's great.
Speaking of race,
I was smoking weed.
I
How?
found out after the initial joke, Cottonmouth could become racist, and I started going there, and I got kicked out of the venue.
I almost died from smoking weed one time. It's true. No, it is true. The drug dealer I stole it from is really upset, and he was faster than I was. Listen, I did almost die from cottonmouth one time, but then a black friend was kind enough to pick it out.
Oh my god.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Nick, you
Yep.
might like this one. What do you call a black man in the cockpit of a plane?
The end of this stream?
A
Pilot, you
you
racist
fucking
bastard.
racist.
Well, listen, everyone. I mean, this is my first time doing stand-up, and I would ask you to be gentle, but I'm sure that when the video of this inevitably ends up on the internet, it'll just have a Brazzers logo taped onto it on Pornhub somewhere. It'll say something like "Nervous white guy gets fucked in complete silence by a room full of people." But then again, I mean, yes, this is my first time doing stand-up. I don't want to be too nervous. It is a bit like the time I lost my virginity, but I'd say that's probably mostly because of all the stage lights and the room full of strangers staring at me. With any luck, I'll leave here with the same $20 and sense of shame I had that time. So, hey, I'm not...
Oh, now the thing is, like, we've got a stand-up night here that happens once a month in a bar near me, and I've been to it a couple of times, and I can't go back because the last time I went, one guy, he was terrible. His whole comedy bit was centered on how he was kind of largely ignored as a child, and how the family cat got more attention than he did. So we decided he would basically be a cat, and it went into what could have been a very good furry joke, but he didn't go there. What he actually did was handed over a bowl and a bottle of milk to one of the audience members who was a friend of mine. Trust me, the best laugh of the whole set was when my friend very uncomfortably and completely realistically honestly went, "But I'm a vegan," and held her hands up in horror. That's what got the laugh.
I just thought of this. I'm going to test it out here. But so the thing was, I was actually, I'm technically, Jewish, they say. I was born to a Jewish father and a Catholic mother, and they decided between each other that it would be better off for me to be Jewish because it'd be less scarring. Now, looking back on it, I was never raped by a rabbi, but I realized that when he sliced the tip of my dick off, he did suck on it a little bit. So I'm almost starting to think maybe Jews just like to get it all out of the way. It's not bad. It's not bad. I literally just came up with that while you.
I like that a lot.
So do you guys ever notice sometimes you might see a shooting star when there's not like a meteor shower happening or anything?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that's actually space debris. And what I think we should do is we should take Trump's Space Force and we should have Space Force clean up all the debris and organize it into a nice little ring, like the great philosopher Beyonce said. If you like it, you should put a ring on it.
Well, I'm a big fan of alien theories and the like. I like the idea of aliens a lot more than I like people in general. In fact, I hate life on Earth so much. Each time I see a crop circle, I feel like I missed a bus.
I like that.
Just wait till my warbirds decloak in orbit.
Christ, I had a Star Wars joke or a Star Trek joke, but I can't remember it now. It's as forgettable as Enterprise. That wasn't it. I'm like the only person on Earth who enjoyed Enterprise. I actually did see Jonan Vasquez, creator of Invader Zim, tweeted out one time the theme song to Star Trek Enterprise is why Netflix invented the skip intro button. And I literally started applauding at my Twitter feed. I'm like, yes, it is. It's so like that shit is so bad. Not even Jeff could get past it to watch that series.
I still say they should have had Rod Stewart sing it.
At least then it would have been Rod Stewart. It wouldn't have been Keith Urban or whoever the fuck that was.
Oh, by the way, Nick, I've been meaning to ask you for a long time because I know you're a fan of Invader Sim. Have you ever heard of the Lenore comics?
No.
Lenore was written by Roman Dirge and illustrated by Jonan Vasquez.
Oof.
And it's a graphic novel series. It's Lenore, the cute little dead girl, essentially.
I was abducted by aliens once. It's actually true. I was abducted and probed and all of that. But then fortunately ICE came through and sent them all back to Honduras.
I was just waiting for that line, man. Yeah. Being a South American as I am, we can expect some shit like that.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sorry. I opened up Note Plus, and I'm like, oh, there's like the set that I've been building. Like, you know, only 6% of Americans believe the moon landing was a hoax. Only 6%. Yeah, I'd say that's not bad for a Christian nation. You ask them, do you think we landed on the moon? Oh, absolutely not. Okay. Do you think a centuries-old dead Jew is going to come back to life one time and invite you to a party? Oh, you bet your ass he will. But I think that's a funny phrase too. You bet your ass, because I mean, I bet my ass once, and that's the last time I ever played cards with Kevin Spacey. I'll tell you that.
Oh my god!
But that's a funny phrase too, though. I'll tell you that, as opposed to telling you something else. Like, did the mail come? No, sorry, the milk expired a week ago. It just doesn't make sense. But I swear, if I spent as much time buying stock as I have drinking at that bar down the street, I'd own the bar by now. Let's see, I drink at Applebee's a lot. I drink at Applebee's a lot, but it always makes me feel like I live like a total slob. So I nailed all the shit that was on my floor to the walls, and now I feel a lot more at home while drinking $6 Heinekens. Okay, yes. No, I'm glad I get to bomb in front of...
No, well, that I would say for me, that'll be a cultural reference because I don't know what Applebee's is.
Oh, over here in the U.S., we have restaurants where we just, like, nail dumb shit to the walls and call it kitsch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Applebee's, Chili's, tchotchkes.
We got some of them here. Outback too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love dating in New Hampshire. It's great.
Outback Steakhouse is like top tier of those.
What the fuck? Outback. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That didn't even sound like English to me. Outback Steakhouse is top tier. No.
No. You didn't hear the rest of the sentence. Hold the fuck on. It's top tier of those types of restaurants.
I'm sorry. I think Texas Roadhouse.
I've never been to a Texas Roadhouse, so I can't even. I can't attest.
Man, I'm from Texas, and I went to a Texas Roadhouse, and I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
I'm not being funny, right? But if I ever went to a restaurant or a bar with Roadhouse in the name and Patrick Swayze wasn't there kicking people's ass, I'd feel like it was badly marketed.
Wait, hold on. Patrick Swayze is dead. If there was a Patrick Swayze lookalike, would you be satisfied?
Yeah, that'll do me. But I need like a Patrick Swayze looking guy who's there doing really cool martial arts to kick people out.
I actually did write a bit of I started writing a set about Manchester, and this is a true fact. But in the city of Manchester, New Hampshire, the beating heart of commerce and culture, all the bars, all the clubs, all the bars, and the other bars, they're all on Elm Street, which is also the world's longest double dead end. So I'm really looking for the metaphor there. But what was it? Oh wait, these are those. Yeah, no, it's yeah, we used to have buskers here on Elm Street, but now where they used to be, we've just got beggars. So I'm wondering if we just had the same opinion about their music.
Well, it's a double dead end, so it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go with, a Nightmare on Elm Street reference, but I couldn't make it work.
I recently thought about converting to Islam, but then I realized it'd be a lot easier to bomb if I just became a comedian. They kicked Alex Jones off of Facebook recently. To be honest, I'm not that happy about it. It's not so much the free speech, but when I'm sitting around feeling jealous of all my friends getting married and having families, I at least like to know that there are reptilians from another dimension that are coming to rape them all. It makes me
I
feel
was
like things are on an even keel.
Have you heard about Jimmy Carr's recent backlash he got for one of his jokes?
Wait, hold. I was thinking about becoming a YouTuber, and I realized that was for failed comedians.
Listen, I haven't even had the chance to fail yet, Jables. Okay, granted, I might be doing this.
I was talking about Steven Crowder and Fat Pat. Don't worry, you're fine.
Fat Pat, I'll be honest with you. I love Pat, and he is a funny guy. But I did check.
Yeah,
his stand-up is. It's
his stand-up. Yeah, I get it. I've checked it out too. And also on top of that, I was more referencing like Steven Crowder and David Rubin. And
wait, hang on. Did Rubin try and stand up?
Rubin started off as a stand-up comedian. Yeah.
Oh God. It's just like nobody in the audience laughs, and he's like, "You're right. That was a bad joke."
he does stand-up sets. He opens with a stand-up set for Jordan Peterson.
What is it? I've got like you're probably not gonna like. Yeah, you're probably not gonna like this set. Not to be self-deprecating, but most of what I do in general is pretty terrible. It's kind of always been like that.
But I agree with you.
Well, the thing is, back in school, a long time ago, I got in trouble with a guidance counselor, and he told me, like, if you keep this up, you'll never accomplish anything. So basically, what I'm saying is, I learned dedication at a really early age. I think 10-year-old me would be delighted to know that groups like Antifa are wandering around assaulting people and destroying shit. Seriously, I mean, sure, there are robots delivering packages, but I would never have imagined being threatened by shitty ninjas would be actually part of my future. It's almost as depressing as growing up and realizing that your smoking habit requires a charging cable.
Fuck.
That's the problem with growing up as a boy, though. Girls, if they ask their mothers if they ask their mothers what they would have been told at an early age that their greatest de-stressors would be battery powered.
Whoa.
I like that one.
Yeah, they had a Louis Farrakhan one too. Oh yeah, Louis Farrakhan got kicked off. Oh yeah, Louis Farrakhan got kicked off of Facebook too, and I'm sure he blamed the Jews. But I mean, if we're being honest, the Nation of Islam really did invent social media years ago when they learned to start talking to each other through prison toilets.
Ooh. Well, also keep in mind when it comes to Antifa, it's really nice that they're using plastic drums made from oil while they protest climate change.
Very true. I mean, not to harp too hard on Manchester though, but we used to call this town Manch Vegas because the Greek mob used to have all these like backroom casinos and their pizza joints, but then they all got shut down. So now we call it Manchganistan because we've got so much smack and so many guns that the Taliban put travel restrictions on us. Manchester is getting more diverse these days, though, and I think it's a great thing. Diversity is a really great thing. You need it. Otherwise, you just see the same sort of people day in, day out, and it gets boring. And so, yeah, the other day, I'm pretty sure I saw an optimist. Fucking open borders, man. They make for crazy times.
I once saw a person that didn't hate the entire world, and then I realized they didn't even have a cell phone.
Even though there are still Jews around, I think Hitler would be proud to see so much of his legacy alive in the U.S. today. I mean, if things are going badly, what do? You force some pills into your kids and then retreat into the basement. That's what I do, and works beautifully.
Hitler may have created a bunch of social programs for roads and everything like that, but it was just to build the roads so that people could walk with tiki torches. And
did you ever wonder if maybe the reason Jesus never tried to make his comeback was because he saw what happened to John Travolta and he didn't want anyone thinking he was gay too?
Shit.
I have this really
That's a good one.
I have this very strange habit. It's a bit of a nervous tic, if you will. Yeah, I always end up having to like sort of search my pockets whenever I'm nervous, and it gets really, really dreadfully awkward when I'm not wearing pants.
Jimmy Carr recently got a lot of backlash for one of his jokes like 2 days ago. But the joke he said I thought was fucking hilarious. I've got to be honest.
Of course, it's Jimmy Carr. What was the joke? And then there was the backlash.
Well, you know who BTS are, right?
No.
Well, they're a Korean band that's doing really well in America at the moment.
Yeah.
And he said, when I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried. So I guess it could have been worse, but not much worse.
Well, I mean, I still loved his joke. What was it? So, Islamic sex dolls, do they blow themselves up?
No.
Oh no, my favorite is like I used to be Catholic. I've had it really tedious though. All of the, you stand, sit, kneel, stand, sit, kneel. I just wish the priest would pick a position and fuck me.
Dude,
So clearly, never listened to Jimmy Carr's.
Hold on. Do you think Jesus hasn't come back yet because he's still waiting for people to quit hating the Jews?
I'd forgotten that joke about the priest one.
Well, I mean, I wrote this as a ticker line one time, but it was something to the effect of like recently, archaeologists have discovered that Jesus was a genuinely terrible carpenter, which kind of made becoming son of God a lateral move in his case.
I like that.
Let's see. Hang on. Let me see. Like, okay, I think this was something I used to just pester Anna Hata Hearts with these things. I just like write these on Skype and just send them to her when I was depressed and drinking. I was out at this bar, and what was it? It's like, I think Twitter Mobile was created for bar owners. Seriously, ever look at that shit while you're drinking? I'm just kidding. You have to be drinking to stand it. But at the bar, I swear, whenever I see some hot politics take from an anime account, I feel like I suddenly need to order to the point where I'd be given a wholesale discount. It's like I need to suck off a hobo out back just to get the taste of Twitter out of my mouth. I'm just kidding. That's just community service. I've only got 5 hours left. But am I alone in thinking that the explosion of birth rates in Manchester has a lot to do with the combination of half-off nights and track lighting? I'm not saying that people here are ugly, but I make a point of avoiding natural light in this town for a very good reason. I, for one, drink enough to where if I saw this city in daylight, I'd thought that I'd blacked out and wound up in some Eastern European version of a safari. And coming up on the left here, you'll see the urban water buffalo in its natural habitat. It's found a fresh crop of L&M menthols and seems ready to resume foraging for larger sandals to match its summer Adidas pajama pant coat. Women in New Hampshire,
wait.
We don't even have cougars, we have Fisher cats. No, sorry, Manchester is so full of Karens that rather than cougars, we have bobcats.
Nick, I want to reference back to your blowing the homeless man thing. You should add in the tagline, have you seen how long it takes to get a heroin addict hard?
Women in I do love dating in New Hampshire though, because if you're going out to dinner and a movie, it's half off so long as
you're not wrong, mate. It does.
ARP card.
In fact, Med, I've got to be honest, it sounds like pretty much any major town or city in the UK.
Oh no, I mean, and I'm not. This isn't even a joke. I've had fuck, Randomer Cam was here a couple weeks ago, and he agreed with it. The only difference between Manchester, New Hampshire, and Manchester, UK, is that we don't stab each other; we just shoot each other here.
Yeah, you see, the thing is that with that, this is why I think that perhaps if you had like more gun, this is the one thing I would say about gun control in the US, is that at least here in the UK, we've got to get up close and personal. You can't do a drive-by knife throwing.
Yeah, but you can do a drive-by acid splash.
Yeah, well, keep in mind here in the U.S., like with our gun crime, even though like all over like the tens of thousands of people get killed every year, I mean, mostly killed with handguns. They want to put
And most of them are
bans.
suicides.
Yeah, well, they want to put bans on bayonet mounts.
What?
Yeah.
That's not even a joke. Like gun control, they're like, yeah, a bayonet mount needs to be banned because apparently they think that's a problem. It's like, oh god, all of those bayonettings, all of those times these mass shooters decided it was just time and they went up over the side of the trench into no man's land to stab their classmate.
You see, this is where the state visit went really wrong because Donald Trump came over here, heard about all the stabbings we have, and we've got to do something about these bayonets.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Well, there was a time London surpassed New York for murders. So
Okay, I'm not sure if this is a troll or if this is someone making a fun joke, but I do love that joke.
No, it's true.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the other side to it though too is like New York is
Fucking awful.
controlled.
No, sorry, I meant what's just been put in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the stream.
Which one?
Anyone who was fathered by a male is a byproduct of the patriarchy and should be ashamed of themselves.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that-
no. Oh,
stolen
okay,
joke.
okay,
That's stolen.
Okay.
yeah. That was okay. So
Whoever the like the female
that's Aunt's K that stole that fucking joke.
yeah, no, but what's the account though? What's the account? It's like
Shit.
it's the female Godfrey Elfwick clone that's out there now on Twitter.
Mhm. Well, I saw Jeffrey tweeted something that was like, if you're a male, you're a part of rape culture. And then my response was, "Oh, I'm so not tired of being lumped in with every single rapist. Not tired of it at all." Which then Rhino replied with, "Well, you're a male. Get used to it."
I would have
And then
gone
I
with
responded
something.
with, and he responded, "You're a male. Get used to it. It's current year." And then I responded with that with, "Oh, you're right. It is current year. My bad. I am lumped in with all of them. Attention, everybody. I'm starting my current year apology tour for being a rapist, apparently."
Well, see, here's the thing: is like, one of the things that bothers me about feminism is I don't, I get tired of being Titiana McGrath. Thank you, Ants. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as a man, I get tired of being lumped in with all of these rapists. I mean, just being male, it wasn't a choice. Like I had these genitals, forced on me, and so I try to be an exceptional rapist by forcing them on other people.
You
Getting
know,
kind of good with this jokes thing.
It's
Yeah.
that whole thing of, if I'm going to be lumped in with all the rapists, I might as well, go the extra mile and be one.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus fuck.
Well, see, the greatest thing when you can prove to the world that you're not actually a rapist is having a judge realize that there's reasonable doubt.
Well, the best thing you could possibly do is threaten them so that they don't even tell. Too far? Okay.
Hmm.
How many pancakes does it take to build a doghouse?
I shudder.
4.
the notion.
None, because snakes don't have armpits.
Wait,
Oh, God.
no.
God damn it. I mean, I thought the sleep deprivation was getting to me, but no, that was just pain. Pure pain.
Yeah.
I thought
That-
you asked how many pancakes does it take to build a doghouse? How does that fucking translate?
You can ask Stephen Wright because that's who I stole that joke from.
Yeah, no, that's why I could tell it hurt.
Yeah.
Stephen Wright. My favorite was Stephen Wright was like, so I tried to kill myself the other day. Went up to the top of my apartment building and I jumped off the roof. On the ways down, I ended up doing a triple backflip and landing in perfect form. There's two kittens standing on the sidewalk, and one looked to the other and said, "See, that's how you do that." What?
I'm a huge Stephen Wright fan, but I didn't remember that fucking joke.
Oh, he's bad. He was like the father of anti-comedy.
You know,
him and Mitch Hedberg.
Well, did you catch? I mean, did any of you guys catch that string of really awful jokes I was setting out the other day? Like, why didn't the Mexican cannibal ever finish college? He couldn't get through his essay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
What was the other
caught that entire stream.
Yeah, and then there was
Fuck.
then there was yeah. Do you guys ever think new hires at Irish McDonald's confuse filet o fish for a coworker?
All right, so I'm gonna get a Mitch Hedberg joke. I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
I don't have a girlfriend, but I know a girl who'd be really angry if she heard me say that.
you know, like, sorry,
My
go on.
favorite thing in the world is an escalator because it's the only thing that cannot break, can only become stairs. Not temporarily out of service. It's sorry, temporarily stairs. We apologize for the convenience.
I was walking around downtown and I saw a duck. And I thought this, and I was like, "What are you doing here, duck?" Ducks don't belong in downtown. So then I saw a Subway. And I walked in and I said, "Hey, can I get some bread?" And they're like, "You can't just get bread. You gotta have something in between it." It's like, "All right, I'll get some lettuce." "All right, that'll be $4.99. All right, thank you. By the way, it's for a duck." And they're like, "Oh, then it's for free." God damn it! If I had known it was for free, I would have ordered some. I would have ordered a soda and some fucking Sun Chips.
No. It's like I didn't know ducks didn't have to pay a Subway. I just go and say, "Don't bother ringing it up. It's for a duck." And he's got four friends with him, and they all want Sun Chips.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Oh no, I used to have that shit on CD. When I worked at a Radio Shack, and nobody ever came in because it was in this French Canadian town where like all we sold was hearing aid batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I burned that CD one time and I just started playing it in the shop, and I was just hanging out at Radio Shack with nothing to do all day listening to Mitch Hedberg, and then I'd pause it and I'd like use those old school soundboards and I'd just start calling other Radio Shacks with like the Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard. And good morning. Good morning. Well, thank you for calling Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. It's a beautiful morning, isn't it? Yes, it certainly is. I have some questions for you. Okay, well, we've got answers. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Excuse me, answer me. It's great. I mean, I was playing with samples back before like that was the thing, you know. I was ahead of the curve, but also behind the 8 ball.
I remember a while back, and I was literally just walking home from work. Now, bear in mind, at this point, I'm in my 30s, early 30s, and I see these kids, right? And I say kids, they must be about 15, 16, and they're just there, kind of just riffing off each other with jokes and little rap things, and it was going good. One of you just turns around to me and comes out with what is basically a joke of "I've screwed your mum." And I'm just thinking, you know what? God, the 1980s called, they want their joke back. But instead, I turned around and went, "Dude, really? My mum will screw anything, but even she's got some standards." And then just carried on walking.
I'd have been like, "Hey, kid, how's it going, bro? Like, you know, it's a weird thing. I wanted to dress up as your dad for Halloween last year, but how does one dress as 30 potential different guys?"
But no, the guy just kind of just stood there, and he's like, "What?" And his mates were laughing at him because he just got dumbfounded. But no, I like that as well when he used that.
Just like if I ever get a heckler, if I do stand up and I ever get a heckler, I'm just gonna ask him a question. Like I'll be like, "Oh my god, holy shit, a heckler!" One person in the audience was apparently listening to my jokes and had to use You are the odd man out in this crowd, my friend. Everybody else figured out to just tune this shit out, but you stuck with me, and I appreciate that.
That's fucking perfect, dude. No, keep that. Keep that in your back pocket. That's fucking excellent.
Oh my god.
Okay. So Nick, keep in mind, I'm a person. I listen to stand-up comedy like most people listen to music.
Yep.
That is one of the best heckler responses I've ever fucking heard. That is like top fucking tier.
Yeah, I just wrote it down because I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I'm actually. I mean,
no. Keep that. Keep that. Do that. Record that if it happens. Record all your sets, dude.
Just in case that happens.
I haven't been in a room this quiet since I lost my virginity.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good in betweener.
No, I mean, I've got a whole bunch of these like riffs in my head about just dealing with a silent room. But if I get any laughs, I'll be like, I had no idea Manchester was this courteous. Well, shit.
One of the best intros I saw on a stand-up set was this kid. He's in a wheelchair. He wheels himself out on stage, and he grabs the mic and goes, "Yeah, I can't remember the name." He goes, "And I'm a stand-up comic." And he looks down at his chair. I went, "Didn't think this through, did I?"
Well,
and it was just that moment. It was just kind of, I can see exactly where this is going.
It's funny. Well, I built the whole. I initially built this set around like just some kind of bad jokes. I wrote it initially. It was like, so I recently went through a pretty bad breakup. As opposed to like the good ones where all your friends get together and there's cake and dancing and then you never fuck again. Wait, no, that's a wedding. Anyway. But yeah, so now my friends have been pushing me to get onto this online dating thing. And I did it once before and I didn't want to do it again, but I decided I'd give it another shot. But last time I did it was around the same time I was shopping for a car on Craigslist. And this similarity was striking. So I'm going to ask you guys which I'm talking about here. So the first one is she runs every day, but there's a smell and something I can't describe. Something I can't explain about the wiring. Or used professionally daily, some cosmetic damage, still has a lot of life left in her. Or my personal favorite, I just want this thing off of my lawn. You've been a great audience. Good night.
Yeah. So Nick, I already DM'd you about that joke.
What?
There's already been other people using the same joke.
Spooky Land? Oh no, I was right. No, I was actually
that was like months ago.
Oh no, I was right. Yeah, no, I was actually those were all came from like what was it like? I published those shitty jokes on Twitter because that's where my shitty jokes go when I was actually looking. I was like on OkCupid and I was shopping for a car.
Yeah, I no, but it's time to trash that joke because I've been hearing it at open mics already.
Oh yeah, well, shit. It's not even written in my set. All the I've got the all those other ones that I just stop it, Jables. I'm uncomfortable. I'm groping parts of myself trying to feel better, and I need to stop.
No, it's fine. Here, look at this roast battle that I just sent you, where this guy can't even grope himself because he doesn't have arms.
Oh shit! No, I saw it. No, it wasn't this one, but I saw another one. I saw that same roast battle not that exact one, but one of the roasts that went on there where it was just this deadpan girl fucking completely destroyed this dude.
Yeah.
You know what?
Fucking
In my
beautiful. I know which one you're talking about. Same scenario.
Yeah, she was so
yeah,
fucking good.
Fucking,
I'll be honest, like I mean, granted, in this town, like the women here are really genuinely fucking awful. They are water buffalo with like airtight ponytails. They wear pajama pants all the fucking time. You know the kind of talk about. That's
they're cunts.
Yeah, that's most of the women here. And I've gone to places like when I've gone out to Boston or I've gone out to New York, and I've met some like actual female comics, and I'm just like, I'm like, why do you not exist within, like, speaking range of me? Why do I have to just visit places where funny women exist as opposed to just baby mamas who think, well, my kid didn't die, I'm mother of the fucking year?
Wait, stay.
I mean,
how
you're talking about
heroin and say that fat?
Shit. Careful.
Well, no, that's the fucking problem I come to too. Is like, how can these bitches be doing this much heroin and maintain that much body mass? Like, I look around and I'm like, where are my Whitney Houstons? I'm not one for long-term relationships, and so I'm fine with drug abuse, but just go with the ants on a log and then say to yourself, well, the peanut butter and the raisins is a bit much.
I had pretty strict parents when I was a kid. Right? I mean, my dad in particular.
Wait. Hold on. Once I'm done with you, there may be fentanyl in this, but there's probably not. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Fucking, I mean, like, you know what I want to do? I want to start going around to bars and I want to start spiking bitches' drinks in front of them with children's Tylenol just to see who's like, oh, I'm down. It's just like, oh boy. Yeah. Okay, I say it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't bring my chin strap goatee tonight, so I'm not the version of sexy you were expecting. Let me put some Limp Bizkit on the jukebox.
It's the version of sexy you're gonna get.
Whether you like it or not.
No, it's just children's Tylenol. That'll be fine.
Well, listen, I feel kind of bad because we've got two ladies in this stream with us right now. I'm making all of these jokes about sexual assault, and I haven't even asked them if they'd prefer breakfast or not.
I mean, I had a pretty rough childhood at times. I mean, my dad in particular was really quite strict. He always told me, look, whatever you do, you must never, ever open the cellar door. And you know what? Because one day, just curiosity got the better of me. It couldn't be contained any longer, so I crept up the door and slowly pushed it open. And to my surprise, to my absolute surprise, there was sunshine, green grass, and blue skies.
You dropped the punchline on that one too early.
Yeah. Thank you.
No. It had decent build up, but it's like
pacing's your problem.
Yeah. So my dad told me not to open. I never opened the cellar door, so. One day when I was 13, I was just so curious I couldn't help myself, and so I did, and I discovered there's a whole house above my room.
Yeah, thank you. I prefer that.
Something of that nature. Yeah. Well, this is a weird thing.
You rushed through it.
Well, I still love the fact, like, when I first started considering trying to do stand-up, like because I reached out to Random McCam, and his advice was just get drunk, get very, very drunk. That way, at least you'll enjoy it. And Random McCam actually did win. He won a stand-up competition that was hosted by David Mitchell.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he was telling me when he was up here, and it's so weird because when we tell these jokes, I can't even tell actual stories now without feeling like I'm setting up a joke. But no, like part of the prize was he got to actually hang out with David Mitchell for like an hour. And he said, like, the most notable thing, he's like, it was the strangest thing I noticed was that, like, both of us have lived really, really boring vanilla lives. Like, really? He's like, yeah. Because I was sitting there telling him stories about getting arrested and other such things. And he's like, He's like, I've got no stories like that. None. He's like, no, I lived a perfectly normal, uneventful life, childhood up through now. That was that. But so he gave me that advice. Then I got on the phone with Fat Pat, and I'm thinking it's just going to be like 10 minutes of like, how to work a punchline or work a crowd. 2.5 fucking hours of like basically a dissertation about the science of comedy and being a comic. And he's like, you need to get into a habit where you just write jokes in your head about anything you see. One of his things, like, he's like, it's gonna sound like a setup, but it's not. So I went down, sat down, take a shit the other day, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, Pat, write a joke. So I pick up the toothpaste and I'm just looking over it. And he's like, yeah. And so I'm just reading the toothpaste, and on the bottom there's instructions on how to use the tube. And so my first thought was, okay, well, if you can read English but don't know how to work a tube of toothpaste, you've got bigger problems than bad teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah. Well, so Nick, what one of my comedian friends told me was, your life is not interesting to you because you've lived it, but it's always interesting to somebody else because they haven't gone through that.
That reminds what Nick was saying a minute ago. Reminds me of something else, and it's, again, my timing's got to be worked on here probably. But I was in the supermarket the other day, and I went down the snack aisle because I'm shopping for snacks to eat with lots of alcohol.
Yeah, I get it.
And I pick up this packet of peanuts, and it says on there, contains nuts. And I'm thinking, shouldn't that be false advertisement? Because as anyone knows, peanuts aren't actually a nut; they're a pulse.
Well, they're a legume, but also it might contain semen. Fuck knows.
Oh my. My sister thinks she's so smart. She said onions are the only food that makes you cry. So I threw a coconut at her.
She's never seen.
I like
she's never
the UPS
seen,
guy because he's my drug dealer and he doesn't even know it. Credit McKenberg.
And to your sister there, who says that onions are the only food that makes you cry, has clearly never seen a vegan at a butcher's market.
Wow. the only thing you eat that makes you cry. I said you'd never had to swallow a divorce settlement, have you?
Well,
I was wondering why the frisbee was getting bigger.
Also, Nick, what my other comedian friends have been telling me is to get the courage to go on stage to do an open mic is to just sit in the audience of an open mic and then just tell yourself, I could do better than them.
Well, no, I mean, I've been, because before they shut the open mic that we had here down. And when I say like this city only gives a fuck about shitty cover bands, I'm not joking. Like, you are hard pressed to find original music outside of one place here. And but I remember going there, and one of the things I liked about it is that when people go to an open mic, like half the crowd there are just waiting for their chance to get up. But everybody else who's there, they know what they're there for. And so they go there with a suspension, almost like a comedic suspension of disbelief. Like, they want you to be funny. They're not sitting there trying to pick you apart and tear you down the way you're stage fright. And this is something I learned when I was acting.
They're there to potentially see the new Louis C.K. or something.
Yeah, or no, but I mean, even if they're just, it's a free open mic comedy, they go sit down, have a drink, they want to be entertained. And so, like, they'll give, they're a lot more generous in an open mic setting than you'd think. And one of the things that I remind myself, and I learned this when I used to go audition for films, is that, when you go and audition or when you perform in any way, like, stage fright is fundamentally about you thinking that your audience that you're performing in front of is picking every moment apart, trying to find how you fucked up, because that's what you're doing in your head.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, they're sitting there and they're not looking for the worst. They're looking for the best. They're looking to see how good you can be. And so as long as you put it all on the line there and you put it all out there, they'll be as generous as they can conceivably be. I'm not actually remotely nervous about going up on stage to do stand-up, in that fashion, like, because I know, like, I'd prefer to start out with open mics so I could bomb in that natural form, but we don't have that. And the guy who runs it here is a guy named Nick LaValle. He was on Last Comic Standing. In fact, I think he won Last Comic Standing, actually. And he's not. I mean, it's funny because Nick has actually kind of got the I call it the Mark Maron effect, because when Nick got sober, his comedy went to shit. Like it just got so flat, which is why he does more of the management side of things now. And it's a state dependent behavior for a lot of people. Like comics are depressed people, and so you make fun of the shit that depresses you, so it's not as sad, and then you make other people laugh, which makes you feel better. But if you get used to doing that in a state where you're drunk, I mean, right now I'm not.
The alcohol became a crutch.
Well, it's not even a crutch. I mean, Jeff and I were talking about it on the show last night. Since Jeff has gotten sober, he feels like his wit has escaped him. Now, I'm not sober. I'm not like stone sober myself, but I mean, I'm not putting back bottles of wine or liquor when I do shows now. Like, I'll sip my shitty cheap beer, and at the most I'll have like a buzz at the end of the show, and that's it. And I noticed that when I was going from that, and I was getting off the sauce, and I wasn't depending entirely on booze just to get me through the day like I was. I had to kind of relearn that shit. I had to relearn a lot of things.
With that, though, Nick, that jumps onto a study that I read back when I was in college, which is they found that if you got people drunk, like you gave them, I don't know, like 5 beers, and asked them to study something, if they were sober when they took the test, their recall was a lot worse than if they drunk 5 beers before they took the test a week later in both cases.
That's a totally different thing. We're not talking about recall.
No. He's kind of on the same point. It's state dependent learning, and I learned
that's
this
exactly
when I went through because like when I was 30, and this is why I'm banned from Canada. But on my 30th birthday, I got arrested for a DUI, and part of that sentence was I had to go through basically like a class. It wasn't AA, but it was like a several weeks long course about why drinking and driving is bad, and why drinking excessively is bad. And one of the things they went over was state dependent learning. When they told me about it at first, I thought it sounded like a bunch of shit, right? But then I did learn. I'm like, yeah, if you are accustomed to learning to do things in a certain state, stoned or drunk or whatever, your ability to do that when not in that state is somewhat impaired, because you are not in the frame of mind that you would be in when you were good to go on that. And so it was,
wait. So hold on, this is starting to make sense now. Is that why I can only debate flat earthers when I'm a few beers deep?
Yeah.
It's why you can only get an erection when you've got half a bottle of scotch in you. Yes,
and half a gram of cocaine. Allegedly.
No, cocaine turns your dick into a baby sock. Don't even go there.
Really? Because I know someone else who said that it makes them rock hard, but they can't finish a job.
Oh, I love how you preface that. You're like, I know someone.
I know
for a friend, if you understand.
No, yeah, but Nick,
do you understand that there are people in this chat that have called me Jables Escobar?
Oh, who did that to you?
But wasn't that more about the mustache that you were sporting?
No, that
and it was about the cocaine.
I'll say
well, okay.
The mustache was about the Jables version of Ron Jeremy.
It might have been the second time we had him on, but I remember there was one time, and it was shortly after Deli Meats left me for Thor there.
Deli Meats. I still can't stand that nickname.
Oh, there was one night you guys brought me on that I was high as.
Oh no!
I should not have been on.
No, I was actually just gonna say I don't even remember how I came into possession of it, but I had. Christ, how did I get that blow? Yeah, she shortly left, and I was like, I was dead inside. Like there was nothing, there was no light. Like the light was not working, right? And I'm like, I still have to do the show. I have to do the fucking show. And so I'm like, I've got an idea. I'll just blow coke all night during the show. So like every 20 minutes or so, I just turn the camera off and I just do a little Sargon on the side there. And then I'd come back and I'd be good to go. I'm like, zing. All right, let's do this shit. The only other time I'd ever actually done any blow when I was on streaming it of any kind was the night. So when we had TJ on and we started the first half of the show having Lacey Green on. And it was,
Yes. So
yeah.
that's why you have the same problem I do. You
Oh no.
Now
Well,
we get
I'm
going.
not. No, I'm not going to blame. Here's what happened. So the corner store, the bodega next door that sells bootleg DVDs of Captain Marvel, right next to their crack pipes. They don't sell fresh veggies, but they've got crack pipes.
Hold on, they're roses in a glass.
Well, yeah, no. They have those, and then they also have legit, straight up, just crack pipes. They sell apple baggies there, dude.
For tobacco use.
Okay,
only.
yeah, I also get advertisements on my phone for crack pipes on the way.
Yeah. Well, so like, the owners, the guy who owned it and ran it before the people who ran it before the people who run it now. So we're talking a few years ago. Used to have this thing. If I showed up at his shop after 8 p.m. at any time, he would, because he'd be drinking, he'd pour me half of a red Solo cup full of Johnny Walker Red, and just he'd be so fucked up. He'd be like, "Ah, you're so good. You're a good customer. You're always in here. Hey, go take anything you want, whatever you want, just take it." And pretty cool. Well, I went in there that night. Well, I went in there because this was when we were still doing the show on Sundays at 10. And so I went over there to get a bottle of wine and some beer. And Deli Meats was still living here at the time. So I go over there, and this guy Raj, he's like, "Here you go," and he hands me a cup. I'm like, shit. All right, I can sip a little bit of this with you, but I can't. I got a show to do tonight. He's like, you sniff? I'm like, huh? And he shows me he's got his phone out, and he's just got these rails already lined up on his phone in the fucking convenience store. And I'm like, all right, yeah, there's no harm in it. Fine. Oh wow, this is really pretty good Coke. Oh, have another one. Okay, another one. Okay. Here, drink this. Okay, cool. I'll just take that wine. That's fine. Oh, you got to go do your show now. Go. So he sends me back. I walk back around down the alley back to my apartment with this Solo cup, which is still like a third full of Johnny Walker Red. A bottle of wine in the other hand. I've got like 2 really massive rails of Coke already moving through my system. I get up here. I managed to slowly get through the whiskey while we're talking to Lacey, and then Lacey fucks off when TJ shows up. And at this point, that's about the point where I blacked out, because I finished that, and then I cracked the wine open, and I started drinking the wine and wishing I had more Coke. AJ told me after the fact. So like I got up and I booted a bunch. I like threw up. I fucking destroyed the toilet. And then I came back and I was sitting there off camera, and like whenever TJ would start talking, I just muted myself and I'd just start making fun of him, like, I'm gonna put a
God.
in my ass. I was like,
super fun episode. But
yeah. I was like, I did that, and then the next day I got up. It was so bad. And I got up the next day, and I'm like, what did I do? Oh, fuck me, what did I do?
You didn't mute yourself, did you?
Nick, I just learned why my mom doesn't like you.
Because I didn't call her back?
Yep. That, and you remind her of my uncle, and you...
Thank God you said uncle.
You are an example of what I could be.
It's like, well, you remind me a lot of her. You apparently remind her a lot of my dad. Well, Jables,
No, my uncle, her little brother, who had a meth lab, and
oh, I'm glad I'm in such good company. Now I've told you guys You guys know the story about the MS-13 guys in California, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you were
Yeah.
waiting for your to get on the airport, they're
Yeah,
like, "Hey, you
when-
want to do this shit?
Yeah, Anna Hot Hearts and I were out at the VidCon, and then before we leave, these
Why not?
Mexicans.
No. Nick, I would do the exact same fucking thing. I would give a fuck. Let's get fucking wired. Let's fucking party. I'm waiting for a plane. Fuck
I
it.
have done a fair amount of cocaine in my life, right? I
I've
have
never touched it.
never had anything which so effectively and medically numbed my face as that shit, because I'm like doing these I'm just doing these like short lines off dude's car key in the parking lot, like in the middle of the day, mind you. And like I get one up, like I get one down, Mel gets one down, and she's like, "What the fuck? I need to get back to my Jimmy." And so she goes back inside, and he's like, "Yo, you want another one, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, please." And like I get halfway through this thing, and basically like everything south of my eyeballs, just there was no feeling to it whatsoever. I'm like, God damn, I could pull a tooth right now, and I'd be fine. This is great. Holy shit. And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's that Mexican mafia shit." And all I could think was like, "Man, you guys are a lot more friendly than the media makes you out to be."
Yeah. Hey, Nick, let me tell you a little tiny secret that the entire world can then search later because we're live on YouTube right now.
Well, this is California, which, as we all know, is
hold on. Let me
Jables,
finish.
just before you go, just let me tell you, dude. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about your uncle like that, man. You should be proud because it's always nice to have members of the
Oh
scientific
no!
community in your life.
My uncle got all clean. He got his kids back. He's
Oh.
he's doing great now. He's getting
Here I
married.
was,
Everything like that.
thinking you were going to
he's-
praise his entrepreneurial spirit.
No,
Yeah.
I was praising he was a part of the scientific community, man, because he had a lab. You didn't wait me to finishing it. Come on, Jables.
No, he almost killed his 4 kids.
Oh my god.
But
Don't
he's
monk.
doing
Wait. Hey, what kind of bees make milk?
Oh, Christ.
um, anyways, Nick, what Nick,
No,
what I'm going to tell you
I want to
is
know.
it's a
I
lot.
need her to quicken me on
Yeah.
this one. Giovanna, what kind of bees make milk?
Boobies.
Oh, get fucked.
Go lie down on the floor for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
Or wake up in my boxers on my living room floor with the sun splashing on my face and being like, I deserve this.
Oh, that,
Right, yeah, no,
just like
nobody
how I am
deserves
right
that. Anyways, Nick,
Listen,
what
I
I was going to
vacuum.
tell you is it's really easy for people from Mexico to fly to Canada and then maybe stumble across the border. So, Northern America, especially on the West Coast,
I was complimenting them. I mean, right now there's probably like, out of the
I-
7
I-
people
I'm
watching
just-
now, I'm
I-
sure the 5 MS-13 members who are fans of your show are like, "Oh man, you hear that shit, man? Motherfucker, he likes us, man. I mean, I thought we were doing some bad shit before, but now I'm feeling like maybe we could be like real, pillars of the community and shit,
Yeah.
Because that dude with the hat said so.
Nick, all I'm saying is kind of Pacific Northwest. You, me, Jeff, whoever else, Ben, Billy, whatever.
Yeah,
Let's have some fun.
Billy doesn't fuck around with that kind of shit.
No, I know Billy doesn't fuck around with that kind of
If
shit.
Billy fucked around with coke, he would be called Billy the Coleman
Mm.
Cooler.
Mhm.
He'd be a smaller
Billy,
individual.
yeah. Hey, he's lost like 300 pounds.
No, I know. No,
I
I mean, I'm gonna go on record here for like the 12 people who will hear this. Now, Billy the Fridge is one of the strangest creatures I have ever encountered. I never in my life would have genuinely thought that I'd meet somebody who, with genuine credibility, right? Like, somebody who you can listen to, hear and respect what he says. Genuinely defend Martin Shkreli, let alone Onision, in a genuine manner.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I hear Billy actually lash out and say he thinks somebody sucks, I'm like, God damn, they must be the fucking devil.
Yeah, I've sat down and had personal conversations with Billy about some of those people, and it's I can't reveal too much because it'll reveal the facade. But Billy's a good dude.
Oh, Billy's a
overall.
wonderful dude. Except I love it too because
he's a good judge. He will. You could do the shittiest thing as long as you're good to other people. He'll be good with you.
Oh yeah, but if you're not, if you his character judgments are really, I mean, they're hard to argue with. But I loved it because at one time Joy Sparkles was my Billy. You don't get to talk about my Billy. Blah 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 blah. And fuck. What the fuck is she talking about? Fuck Joy Sparkles.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. If you've incurred the wrath of Billy the Fridge, you fucked up. You fucked up.
Because he defends Martin Shkreli.
He defends Onision.
Yeah. And I had a chat with him about how he defines what a good person is, and it was a long conversation.
Well, he is, not even a fat joke. He is the Buddha. Those Tibetans fucked up when they picked that Kundun kid because they didn't know about William the refrigeration unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, since we're still live, Billy the Fridge's number is still on sale for $500,000.
Right, I think what we need to do, guys, is pool our money together and we can all get given the number. We'll just do a GoFundMe or some shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I still remember though, VidCon 2017, where Billy, just because he realized it would make people laugh, just gets up and hey, check this out, and then he just dumps himself into the pool fully dressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love people like that. They just do things to make other people laugh and happy.
He's a legit comedian. He really is. And
yeah,
it was funny because when I did Peasants the other night, I was kind of low energy. I felt just kind of zapped, just for whatever reason.
To be fair, they were over talking your bits a lot.
I
did not appreciate you. I was listening to your bits. So you were trying to roll through it, hoping that they would stop and everything like that, but they didn't. So, I knew which bits you were going for.
Yeah, well, I'm something I've kind of realized. That was the first. That was one of the first invites I've gotten to anything in a while. People don't. I don't get invited to shit much anymore. Probably because everyone's like, "Oh, Nick fucking hates YouTubers," and I'm like, "Yes, I do." Maybe not you, though. Maybe not you.
Nick, would you like to visit Brazil?
Probably not allowed there.
Okay.
These days, I just kind of assume I'm not allowed to leave the country.
You're invited then. I invited Jables too. Oh, you guys here in the chat, if you want to come, just let me know. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, it's 6 people from YouTube will show up in Brazil, and the GDP will rise by 2 points.
Yeah, not that we don't consider you that important, man, but yeah. Okay.
The thing is, we have a very robust kidnapping industry down here, and I just did you a good addition.
That's a Romanian accent, not a Brazilian one, man.
Well, no, it's funny. I was talking with Prince of Dew one night. She's an RG, and I've been wanting to I wanted to travel. I've I still need to get a passport for fuck's sake, but
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it'd be helpful. The closest country to me I'm not allowed in, so I just keep saying, well, why bother? Also, I will get into Canada. My plan is I want to be an illegal alien, because all I need is someone to drop me off like a mile from the border and then pick me up a mile later on the other side, because most of the border here is not fenced or guarded, so I could just walk through the woods. Beardy even said, he's like, yeah, I'll help you. But no, I was talking with Prince one night, and she's like, I was like, what's Buenos Aires like? And I looked up like an Airbnb in Buenos Aires. Like, you're talking, you can get like a fucking a deluxe like top floor to ceiling windows super luxury condo kind of deal for like $30 a night or something.
Especially after what they did with their economy.
Oh yeah, I did. Was she's like, well, she's like, well, there's good things and bad things here. I'm like, what's good things and bad things? She's like, well, weed is legal here. I know you like smoking weed, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, what's the problem? She's like, but there's a lot of street crime, people muggings, and mugging people and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, well, hold on. So like, if I was to like, could I like hire a bruiser? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, could I like hire a big, strong, tough guy to just basically be like my body man? And she's like, well, I guess you could. And I'm like, so like, I don't know, if I gave someone like $200, could I get him for like a week or two? She's like, 200 American dollars. I'm like, yeah. And she was like flabbergasted. She's like, that would make him rich. That would make him so rich. I'm like, so wait, I could pay $100. I could pay $100 to a dude, and he'd just be my body man. And I'm like, yeah, oh, he's super easy. He'd probably even go and get you food when you told him to.
Well,
like,
that's true. That's true. My dad recently went to Argentina, and he was walking in the parallel street to Calle Florida, which is a very renowned street in Buenos Aires for shopping and whatnot. And he was mugged by a girl holding like a caliber 32. And when he opened his wallet, she left the pesos and took all the reais away. And then I was thinking like, oh, yo, Brazilian money doesn't worth that much. But if the guys are stealing Brazilian money and leaving the pesos out, they're fucked.
Yeah. So wait. So if I went down to Brazil with $1,000, how set would I be?
Jables, check this out. $1 equals 4 reais and a half. So there you go.
Math that shit, Jables.
I don't know what that means.
Listen, you're allowed to be illiterate, or you can't do math, but you can't be both. Okay.
So how much like what would 4.5 reais buy me?
A car?
No.
Half of a car.
How many houses?
A small child.
Especially in São Paulo.
A kidney.
I think you said $400 for $100. Oh, for $1,000. No. Well, you could have a nice living for a month, I think.
You could probably afford a Venezuelan family.
Oh, that's cheaper than that, man.
The problem with human trafficking in Brazil isn't about people smuggling other people. It's just there are too many fucking people clogging up the roads.
Does Brazil do that fucked up thing that Mexico does with the 99-year leases instead of actually selling the houses?
Well, listen, Brazil is one of those Mexican countries that does one of their own thing. So,
oh, geez, Nick.
Oh, that's so American.
No! Did you not catch our Fox News? Put it on their banner when they were reporting about Central American caravans, and they're like, people from many Mexican countries are coming to the United States.
Oh,
yeah, I saw
that.
Christ. I saw that. That was a major gaffe. Oh my god.
No, when I hear that, like, it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, that's such a gaffe." No, I used to work in a kitchen, mostly Dominicans and like Puerto Ricans, and one of the Puerto Rican, there was a pasta cook named Calvin, and he lived in Lawrence, Mass. And He's like, oh man, it's fucking trip, man. I was talking with these girls the other day down in the food court. I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, he's like white girls, little American white girls and shit. And so they're like, oh shit, I like your accent. Where are you from? He's like, oh baby, I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm like, oh my god, what part of Mexico is that in?
Oh my god.
It's a fucking trip, bro. Like these bitches are dumb as shit. I'm like, well, yeah, you're talking to white girls in a New Hampshire mall, Calvin. Come on. His name.
Wait, his name is Calvin?
Yeah, no, his name is Calvin.
Okay.
That's like the most trippy white name I've ever fucking heard.
He was one of the weirdest cats I ever met. Like he was straight up from from what's that city? Not Sao Paulo, because that's Brazil.
Yeah, it's where I'm at.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I've seen City of God. I know your biography, okay?
Okay.
No, but yeah, no, he's straight up from he's born in Puerto Rico. He was like him and his family moved to Lawrence, Mass, where every Puerto Rican moves to when they come to the United States. And yeah, he was like hardcore fucking paintballer. He was the guy, because I was studying Spanish in college at the time, and I got better education in Spanish language just working with those Dominicans. And this was a funny thing. My instructor, my teacher in school then was a Peruvian woman, kind of fit looking, like 45, maybe 45ish, Peruvian woman. And the final exam we were supposed to have was going to be a one-on-one conversation for like 2 minutes with the teacher, right? Funny enough, the Puerto Rican kid in class got like a C, because he just was like, oh, fuck it, I'll take this easy credit. And he was like, apparently like only semi-literate anyway.
Whoa.
But well, I get in there and I'm thinking like, okay, all right. I remember my vocabulary, my conjugations. All right, I got the she's done. She's like, I want to say, Nick, you have done so well in this class. You have done so well with this language. You really seem to like it. I'm like, okay, yeah. We're gonna start speaking Spanish to each other. Thinking no, and she's like, it sounds like a joke, but it actually happened. She's like, you need to get a Spanish girlfriend. I'm like, huh? And she's like,
I got a daughter, like.
Yeah, well, no, she's like, the American girls, they only care about the cars and the money, but the Spanish women, they care about the man, the family, da. She's like going on for like 2 minutes about how I need to basically get a Spanish girlfriend. I'm thinking it was like, when I am no longer your teacher, you can totally pull my hair, and whatever you want, you do be great. Well, so I go to work the next day, and I tell this to Calvin, my Puerto Rican pasta chef, and he's like, oh shit, dude. I'm like, what? He's like, nah, that bitch is fucking crazy, man. And what are we talking about? He's like, nah, dude, a fucking Spanish girlfriend, that's like having a fucking parole officer. Saying, what do you mean? He's like, nah, seriously, like you'll be out on the sidewalk hanging with your boys and shit. She'll come up to the screen door, won't even open the shit, just start screaming at you, like, get your fucking ass back in the house. Like, huh?
Yeah, there are some very effusive ladies. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, I
Not
never
that much in here.
before. I mean, my brother's got a black wife now, so we're as diverse as we need to be. I've had a couple Jew chicks, if that means anything. It doesn't, but it's true what they say.
You know what scares me the most is that your Spanish teacher sounded a lot like JF, and it would be very scary.
Well, listen, though, her complimenting me on my education wasn't about how I was able to match colors to blocks in the correct way. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, who else has been fucking loving the JF and Mama JF bits between Jeff and Billy? Those have been fucking
Excuse
gold.
me, I am sorry. Some what is some guest escaped me just now.
But yeah,
I was fucking jealous when I was watching that. I'm like, Jeff, why can't you be funny like that on our show?
He doesn't have Billy. Billy. Okay, for anybody that has not met Billy in person, he is charismatic as fuck. Whenever you talk to him, it's infectious.
It's hard to be in a bad mood around Billy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it genuinely is. He's and maybe someday, if you and he are in the right state at the right time, you get yourselves a justice of the peace, and you can live your dream out, Jables.
No, I've already met Billy in person. We've
Yeah, but you didn't marry him.
shared drinks. Oh.
Awkward silence.
You're right.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
already just. I'm trying.
I'd marry Billy.
My next JF joke now.
By the way, anybody who is still watching, anybody that's currently in the call, hashtag Billy Mary Jables. Spam that in the chat.
It's like a Jesus, Mary, Joseph, right?
Bridges love. Just gonna, what you need to do is you need to get that copy pasta of Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life, and then just rewrite it with Billy the Fridge. It's like, no, it's just a joke, guys. I dreamed this last night.
Fridge is love, fridge is life.
Yeah.
Oh.
The thing is Drunken Peasants is a lot like an onion. Just makes you cry.
So Nick, did you see that that random post show that Ben did when he was on mushrooms?
No.
I'm not gonna say where he got the mushrooms from, but I'm gonna say they're from me.
So you can't see it right now, but I'm pushing the tip of my nose over to the side.
Ooh. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, I want to use that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, we were talking earlier though about like how shitty YouTube is. Like the pair of Ben and Billy, like those are two dudes who I genuinely like them personally. Like I've met them enough times.
They're not fake on even when they're on screen. They're not fake.
No, it is what you see.
I've met them in person. They're the same fucking people. Ben is a little bit more shy in person.
Yeah, Ben's a little more reserved. Billy's a little bit more Billy.
Yeah, when they can't. Well, he hams it up for the cam.
Yeah, well, no. There's certain like being. He's the same exact dude. It's just like when it's in person, you're like, wow, this is a lot more intense in the real world than it is on the internet. But it's still you. I mean, I'm the same way. I have sex with nearly every female I meet when I'm out in person.
Well, I seen him go from 0 to 100 when like a camera was turned on.
Yeah,
and then he really spiced it up, but it was still Billy.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. Like Billy's jokes, his sense of humor, his presence, it's absolutely the same. Mm-hmm. And it's a nice thing too, because like with all these unrealistic body expectations out, I'm glad you're setting an example for all those young girls out there right now. Jables letting them know that it doesn't matter if they pack on a few pounds, you'll still love them. You, not me, but you. It's important.
I'm more about the emotional bond.
I'm more about the emotions. Like I love to just look in a woman's eyes and see that absolute sense of dread. No. That's
not what I'm getting at. If they're into me, then I'm into them. That's all it comes down to, really.
Well, I mean, if I'm in them and they're in me, then we're having one wild night.
They gotta get in me
I
first.
really wish you hadn't left that. Now I'm regretting saying every syllable. You ever just look at a woman and realize you wanted her to spend the rest of her life tied up in that particular motel room?
Ooh. There's some things I'm gonna say off air.
You know what? There is quite. I'm going to use that onion joke, by the way, but use a vegan at an abattoir. But I kind of thought leading into it, I could go with something like, you know, what's the difference between an onion and my ex-wife?
The onion makes you cry.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you prefer to cut onions as opposed to stab them.
No. The joke is about the cutting the onion making me cry. Then I'll move into the.
Yeah. But I actually like Nick's tag a lot better.
Hang on.
What's the difference between a bell pepper and my ex-girlfriend? The bell pepper never brought me up on charges for stuffing it full of beef. Oh,
you know what? I was actually going to try and make a joke. I was going to try and make a joke about that Police song, "I'll Be Watching You," about it being a song about a stalker, until I realised that it actually is a song about a stalker.
Yeah.
What's the difference between my ex-girlfriend and a jalapeno?
I don't know how to direct.
Go on.
Never got tired of me filling it full of cream and slapping it with bread.
Oh.
Jalapeno poppers. Jesus.
Yeah, no.
See, I'm personally a fan. A lot of people out there are like, "Oh, don't kiss and tell." But I mean, if I didn't, how would I possibly defend myself in court next week?
Oh,
I love the women here are just silent and terrified. It really brings me back to college.
Yeah, they haven't spoken a fucking word, and that's fine.
Status normal.
Misogyny.
Reminds me when I used to keep around a roll of duct tape.
I'm just gonna say it was nice being friends with Lacey Green for as long as I managed before she caught wind of this stream.
Speaking of which,
I still do love the last VidCon when like she just drank me under the fucking table, because the way Mel, the way Anna Hot Hearts, the way she described it though is because well, we show up at this bar. Jeff and Mems run off to the table full of Jack's films and whoever the fuck else is there, and like everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Greg! Hey Greg, how are you doing? Have you changed your mind about anything you're clueless about recently?" And they're all doing that, and I'm like, I make a beeline for the bar. I take my stool. I order my whiskey. Lacey just shows up, big hug, and hugs from Lacey Green are as amazing as you can imagine. But so she like pops up into the stool next to me. She's like, "What are we drinking?" I'm like, "I'm drinking James." She's like, "I love Jameson. 2 more Jamesons." And she just keeps.
By the way, I'm sorry, I had to check. You call that Scotch?
No, it wasn't
it's
Scotch.
it's
Irish whiskey.
I thought you said you ordered your Scotch. I apologize.
No, Jameson. No. I ordered my Jameson. I'm sitting there drinking that, and she and like. I'm sipping mine because I sip my whiskey, and if memory serves, she was just throwing full like 2 to 3 finger neat whiskeys back like they're shots.
Yeah,
after a couple of them, she kicks her. After a couple of them, she kicks her shoes off and just kicks her feet up in my lap, and we're just drinking and chatting. And I'm like, I am way too attracted to you for this. It's fine, and I'm noticing too. I'm like, I didn't see Chris anywhere. And this is when they were still dating. And like Mel told me after, she's like, "Oh no, when she first popped up, like Chris was like hovering at this distance. Like I could see he was just sort of orbiting, like kind of nervous. And then when she got really comfortable and kicked her feet up, like hovering intensified, you know?"
Wait, Nick, real quick. Drama alert. They're not dating anymore?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean,
Anyways, keep on.
I mean, it was just funny because like I mean, I've been the other guy in many cases, but never. Well, okay, a couple times when I knew it was happening, but never when I knew the person on the other end, right? Because if I don't know them, they're not human to me. But no, I was like, and when she told me that, I'm like, I was wondering what the fuck was going on, like where he was, because I was waiting for Chris to show up and start drinking with us. I'm like, I'm not gonna try and scoop Lacey Green like that. No.
No,
Because
yeah.
I do kind of different these days. It's funny because like these days I'll just like if I'm just because apparently she doesn't get enough like good music in her life. So if I find something really dope, I'll just like throw it to her drunkenly at like 2 a.m. on Facebook, and then like a day later she'll be like, "What the fuck is this? How do you listen to all of this wonderful shit?" And I'm like, "How do you not know about this? Enjoy, have fun." Here's Builders and the Butchers. Oh my god, you've never heard of them either. This is so much fun. But
I'm the same. I need more
All right,
good music in my life.
all right. So, I'm going to tell a quick little story about how I became the biggest fan of Jeff ever. Jeff came up to Seattle, did a meetup, met up with him.
I knew
By the
Red was going
way-
to pop up. I knew Red was going to pop up with that.
By the way, Nick, I'm a very awkward person. I'm a very awkward person.
I would have never guessed.
If you ever meet me in real life, I'm worse in real life.
Jables intensifies.
Yeah, yeah. So I met Jeff, and then other people started showing up, and then we all moved towards a bar. We were all sitting around having drinks. I was pretty much the only smoker, and I started getting anxiety, so I went outside to have a cigarette, and I'm just sitting out there smoking. And all of a sudden, Jeff comes out, and he just says, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And that's it. That's all it took for me. He just sat down and had a cigarette with me and chatted with me for a little bit one-on-one, and that's why I support Jeff, because he actually gave a shit.
Well, that's the funny thing about Jeff. In person, he is really reserved. Like he's himself very awkward. And me, I'm like, actually, I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody here has actually spent any real time with me now. I am.
You and I have done some like typing DMs.
No. I mean, kind of like I said about Billy, right? Like I am I am more me in person than I am online. But it's a what you hear or what you see is what you fucking get. I gave up giving a fuck, and it's a lot like with the acting thing. When you realize like anyone you're performing for wants that, they want it to be fun, and you just run with that. Yeah, it's the similar thing. Like I can start up a conversation with fucking anybody. In fact, living in the South for a while, that was like standard operating procedure. And then when I came back up north, you try and talk to somebody up here, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're gonna rape me! Oh, what are they doing?" It's pretty fucking. Well, it was fun. It was funny though. It was funny because like I only learned that about Jeff in real life when we met up at VidCon and then Kilroy and shit. And because to me, especially like if I'm out at a convention, if I'm like traveling, I get fucking obnoxious. I'm just like, it's rack on tour time. It's like, I've got stories, you will love them. Somebody give me a cigarette, Jeff, meanwhile, it's just like all like wallflowerish. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Come on, let's entertain these fucking strangers. It's great, it's fun, it's a good time. Okay, you're sleeping in there, we're sharing a hotel room, you're in good on you for deciding to sleep in the living room the whole time, because otherwise well, you're gonna see something anyway, but I'm not gonna be awake for it. Yeah,
Oh,
that was at Kilroy. At Kilroy, one of the best moments was like the morning after I'd woken up with someone, and apparently Jack had to slip into the bathroom and had to slip through the bedroom area to get there, and I'd
yeah.
become uncovered, and he was so fucking awkward all day until it was explained to me, like, oh yeah, Jeff saw your cock. I'm like, oh, huh? He's like, I'm like, wait, Jeff, hang on.
Keep
Wait,
that off
you're,
my YouTube channel. Thank
yeah,
you
like,
very
you're awkward. What you saw? Because you saw my grundle, you saw my wedding tackle there. He's like, oh, and they told you, how the fuck do you walk around with that thing, man?
Nick, this channel is not to promote your wedding tackle.
Oh, I don't need this channel to promote my cock. I've got an entire
I know
porn
you got
channel
the
for
late
that.
night stain, so you got your own fucking channel.
Yeah, no, I've got.
The story.
Well, listen, I mean, I can only get away with, like, interspersing my political polemics with, by the way, I've got an enormous cock so many times before people stop, supporting me on Patreon.
I was
Nick.
trying to do a very heartfelt thing about how Jeff made me feel included, and he actually came out and shared.
And I made it about my dick. Yes.
Like that, and you made it about your dick.
It's a talent, dude. You have to. It's a craft.
The thing is, Nick, I'm sure you would agree with this, but it's like I've always said, dude. You know what women say about size, right?
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
Cats. Wait, Ward. Cats. You haven't talked at all. What do women say about size?
More specifically, my size. What do they say about that?
I haven't seen it, so
Yet.
Can't
Well,
comment.
listen, I'm going to be revamping the patron rewards.
You're being very sexist and misogynistic right now.
You should put dick pics as a patron reward.
Because you aren't even letting the women talk. Let the women talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this 2019 or something? What?
Jables is broke.
Goddamn, Jables. I didn't know I was streaming with ContraPoints all of a sudden.
I'd also like to point out, right, that as much as Nick might be being sexist by not letting women talk, he's got kind of slightly more oppression points than anybody else has because he's been booted off Twitter.
Oh, I thought you...
Well, no, because...
Also, I'm a Jew.
Oh, yeah.
Oppression intensified.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they cut like 15% off of my gigantic cock, and it's still too big for Jeff to feel comfortable talking about.
I got a little story about that, but kind of in reverse, man.
You were a rabbi before you were Brazilian?
No, actually, check this out. As I lost a lot of weight, I was feeling some pain in my leg because it's hard to find a proper position to sleep, right? That's the thing. It happens. And I went to the orthopedist. Is that the proper way to say it? Oh, I went. I went to the doctor, and first thing, he started looking at my legs, and he told me, like, "Hey man, have you got some Japanese blood in you?" And I told him, "Dude, you haven't even seen you haven't seen me naked yet, man. How can you think like that, man? It's not polite, And I got yeeted out of the office.
Wait. But you also have a friend that's the granddaughter of Jables.
Yeah, I do.
Jables Boogly.
For fuck's sake.
Fuck myself. All right.
And I would say it's just an acquaintance, man. It's just an acquaintance. She's nice and all, but we're not close friends.
Now you say that.
Oh, I mean, by my experience, as I remember, we're not that close. But anyway, I digress.
From what you remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, can I go back to my original question? Cats live. Does size matter? Be honest. This is the honesty hour.
Yes, but not the
this
way
is
you
a very
think.
difficult question.
Yes,
Because
but
if I
not the
say
way you
size
think.
doesn't matter, then that means that micropeni would, be okay.
Also, keep in mind, like, all
Relative.
because you can fit your fist in your mouth doesn't mean it impresses anyone else when you put it somewhere else.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
Difficult question. Yes. What's the smallest?
No, you're missing the point, Jables. You're missing the point,
What do you mean,
Jables.
what's the smallest?
Size.
He's like pulling out a slide ruler right now. Like, so what's the what? How tall do I have to be to ride the ride?
Nick, I'm comfortable. It's fine.
I just love the fact, Jables, that you're like giving me shit saying I'm not letting the women speak, and they're like, hang on, let's let the women speak. What do you think about my cock?
I haven't said
So, Jables, you're missing the point.
Liv,
Size.
why are you so quiet? I need your help.
I'm talking. Can you not hear me? Hello?
This
Hello,
is
hello?
almost as awkward as my last threesome.
Oh my god.
Liv is talking.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I
Can you hear me?
hear you, Liv.
Okay. I said you're missing the point, Jables. Size does matter, but not the way you think.
Ooh. Okay. Can anybody else here Liv? Just a quick head count.
Yeah, I can.
I can't.
What?
Basically, I just went to brush my teeth and now I come back. But I'm assuming that the metaphor here is: have you ever heard of the story of the mouse who roared?
No.
Is this similar to the story of a thorn in the lion's foot?
Someone's brushing the teeth.
Teeth on stream. Get fucked.
It's dental health, dude.
Yeah, it's dental health. That's fine and everything. Bye.
Oh, or
Can
do you
you
want her back?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, your cam's also on though.
Oh shit. Is it on now?
No, your cam's off.
Okay. Where am I? Oh, there I am.
You
Okay.
muted, Nick.
No,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Cots,
hear
can
you.
you hear me? What the fuck?
Cats, can you hear Liv?
I can hear you on the stream. I can't hear you on Hangouts. What the fuck?
Have you muted everybody on Hangouts? Or do you need to turn your thing up?
How about now?
Have you ever blocked Liv?
Why would I do such a thing?
I can hear just fine via Hangouts.
Then let me reconnect. Maybe it's on my
Likewise.
end then.
Phenomena.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Phenomena.
See, I like clean my teeth, and now all those dirty jokes are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, about that. We spent like half an hour in the Discord server talking about fucking somebody's mom.
Whose? Anyone in particular?
I'm not gonna say it on air.
Fair. Remind me, Jables, I need to ask you something off air about recent Discord drama. Off air.
Well, it is now 7 a.m. I'm gonna go lay down and fall asleep.
Oh, I did.
Mahalo, and remember, everybody, stay fresh, cheese bags.
No, people taste like
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep, now I can.
Ah, finally.
muzzle top.
Yay. So I said Jables is missing the point. Size does matter, but not how he thinks.
And
Not
by
how not how most, if any, guys think, in fact.
Liv, hold on 1 second. The only reason why I ask you two is because I'm pretty sure you two will be honest. Anyways, go ahead.
When have I
So-
ever been honest to you?
Goodness.
Huh.
Liv, what were you saying?
Never mind. It's okay.
Cats know.
What?
Liv, what were you saying?
It's not the length. It's the girth.
Yeah, I've already heard that before.
It's true, though. I mean, you can be too long.
But you can never be too girthy.
Oh, you can be too girthy, too, but yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm just going to
Have a
stop this.
long member that's very, very thin. It's kind of
Not
not
fun.
very satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to poke in the stomach. Never mind. I'm stopping this podcast. This has been listening to Discord, impromptu Jable stream. It's been a lot of fun. Didn't reach nearly any of the topics that I wanted to talk about. But Nick joined in. That was fun. Good night, everybody.